It's been a week. Somehow Starship and New Glenn, of course, launched on the same day. Also, there was moon missions. Cold open. Roll the intro.
And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, Atlantis.
Water towers can fly! Yes! Echo down to nominal.
Fighting downside FTS off. Bring in FTS off. It's orange!
145! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
Look at that!
Put that in the big bag, Jingle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
If the methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You good? We don't need any more of these.
Hey, I'm Jack Beyer, and this is NSF's weekly informal news show that we like to call The Flame Trench. Intro words. Starship, New Glenn. Hey, it's Das and EJ.
Hello. It's like the wrestler tagging out of the ring, somebody tag me. I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I wanted to be here for this, despite how tired I am. But you know what? I'll be darned if I have any brain cells that are still functioning. But this was a week of all weeks. This was a day of all days. Starship Flight 7 and New Glenn in the same day. Still processing.
I guess it is technically the same day, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot
After
of sleep
midnight,
that day.
no sleep, straight to Starship. So,
Yep.
huh. We can see we have a little bit of a wacky setup this time. We had all these fantastic plans, and then we tried to stream a ship lift, or a booster lift, actually.
Booster lift.
And y'all know how plannable booster lifts are. So the entire plan got thrown out the window, right, Jack?
Yeah, I got out there. EJ and Jason got out there. Thanks, y'all, for rolling up with me. It's always good to have some company. But oh man, you think they're all ready to lift. You're waiting on the booster QD to retract, and then some people come up and they start. Then there's more people walking around on top of the OLM.
It's wait a second. No.
They're all kind of looking down at one spot. It's almost like when you're driving. Through construction in a big city or whatever, and you drive past the construction finally in the traffic jam, and it's three guys all standing around looking at one thing. That's what they were doing on top of the OLM. So I was all ready to miss this and focus on the lift, but you know what? The road delay got delayed, so maybe the lift got delayed, and they're still looking at stuff up there. But EJ, you gave me a pep talk, and so I'm on. You energized me, and I appreciate you for that.
How did this pep talk go?
It actually didn't take much. I was like, Jack, you got to come do the flame trench with us, man. We're only down here every once in a while. And Jack was like, yeah, okay.
See, that was the same thing I said about the booster lift, though. I was like, y'all are down here. You should go see the booster lift.
And I was like, yeah, okay.
You're like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Honestly, if the road delay had not been
moved back.
Yeah, I probably would still be out there, and that's purely superstition. It could be unrelated. They could lift it right now during the show, but we'll see how it goes.
The lifts are always so slippery. You never know. We do this all the time because y'all know a lot of times if it's a big lift, like a final lift before a flight or a first full stack of a mission or something like that, we'll stream it. We'll do commentary. We'll do the whole thing. And the number of hours that we have sat waiting for the lift to start is 10 times the number of hours we have actually streamed lifts, right,
yeah,
Jack?
There was a guy that came up to me, and EJ and Jason, while we were all out there, and he was like, so what's the plan? What's going on? And we were like, this is like fishing. we're here for a number of hours, and hopefully something happens. Hopefully we catch a big one, a booster.
Yeah, well, they already caught a big one. A booster.
They caught a booster?
SpaceX did.
They did catch a booster.
Who did?
It's right there.
Really?
I should probably mute that. There you go.
It's right there.
All right.
I really got to get my pointing down here. There we go. Chat, if you have any questions, I'm so good at hosting this show right now.
That's the thing.
If you have any questions, at NASASpaceflight in chat, and we'll see your questions pop up. I didn't see that at the start of the show, but that is what we like to do on the Flame Trench, is hang out and answer your questions. I don't know if you can tell. There's a couch involved. We're hanging out, answering your questions.
Yeah.
Really quickly, I do want to thank Mike Alpha Tango Sierra, or Mats, for gifting 50 Red Team memberships 17 minutes ago, right before the show started. So
Nice.
thank you for that. And thank you to everybody watching out there. We had a bunch of people waiting in chat just for the show to start. You guys, you had to get those pillows just right, didn't you? You just had to get the pillows just right. No,
we had to engage in some aviation repair. Like the members could see some of what we were doing before the show. If you're a part of the member program, we usually start the shows and it's an absolute train wreck, and you get to see behind the scenes like how everything is a train wreck, and then suddenly it coalesces, and it's more of like an aircraft accident than a train wreck, honestly, when the show starts. But
Or is it like a ship run?
Too soon?
Too soon?
We're going to need to have some mishap investigations after the show.
What are we supposed to talk about today, Jack? We've got stuff to talk about.
Do we?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to react to Flight 7. We definitely need to talk about Blue Glen. Oh my God.
Blue Glen. New Ghost. That new Ghost launch was great.
Well, let me congratulate Blue Origin on their lunar lander. Oh, shouldn't have tweeted that.
No, the problem is that there's actually Blue Origin hardware on the Blue Ghost mission.
So that means he wasn't wrong.
He wasn't technically wrong.
Oh.
Everybody was bagging on Nelson, and he was actually correct.
It turns out he was right.
Technically correct.
I'm going to need you to not talk in Nelson voice, though, because I am still very tired. So you can't compound that.
Make you more tired?
Okay, so anyways, the show continues on. We've lost Jack. Maybe when the Air Force tickles the back of his head, he'll wake back up.
You lost me before the show even started, buddy. I don't even know what's going on
Rails, topics list
for
us to talk about.
Let's do that. Let's talk about stuff. I guess we talk about Starship first, right? And maybe we talk about the RUD of ship right off the bat, because that's kind of like the marquee item of this flight, right?
That's a whole thing.
It's a brand new ship and kind of a big deal. And you generally don't want to regress in this way, but it is a new ship. I don't know. But
yeah.
I guess right off the bat, let's talk about our reaction to seeing some of those videos that have surfaced.
Like the top of the show. We're just going to put the meat at the top of the show.
What do you
we're going
want
to talk about New Origin.
You do. No, you pick a topic. You pick a topic. Go.
We're going to do it.
You're hosting.
We've committed.
How about we go in order of the rocket launches that happened this week? So the first thing we're going to talk about,
nice,
Starlink 12-4. It was great.
Not your average Starlink.
Oh my gosh.
It went up, and then the first stage came down. And then
I talked to Max about it. Actually, he said it hit different.
It was awesome.
It hit different.
It hit different.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, cool. Now that that's out of the way, we can talk about.
but really, Jack, let's kick it off with the ship reentry. There's like a ton of news that's been happening today. I say ship reentry, right? Well, I guess technically it re-entered. Did it ever leave? And could it re-enter if it didn't actually leave? We've got some social media posts. A bunch of viewers were actually sending us stuff with permission to use it. You may have seen this all over. So let's look at some of these real quick and talk about what happened. This one's actually from a cruise ship.
This is selfish of me because I've been busy. We've all been busy here running around. So I haven't really had time to watch all of these. I mean, obviously I've seen them coming through social media. Someone will walk up to me and be like, "Hey, did you see this video?" And I'll be like, "What?" This is I'm going to be enjoying these as much as everyone else that maybe hasn't seen them yet.
This is Starship, right?
Yep.
Right now, that is actually stage 2, the Starship. Got greedy with the zoom there.
Everything's going real good right here.
This is before anything happened. Like launch has happened. Booster has separated. Booster's probably already caught by now. We'll focus here. You get dust on your lens. Wait for it.
Holy
that wasn't just the focus.
Moly.
That's Starship blowing up.
Yep. Yeah, that is what happened.
A RUD.
Yep.
And that thing out in front is the nose cone, just doing its thing.
And you don't even see any plasma yet because the thing is in space. I mean, it looks like
up
this
there,
it looks like this was shot at around twilight. It's almost like a jellyfish from the ship and then it starts to hit the atmosphere, and then you start to see that plasma from those vantage points that are further downrange.
But the timing on this is crazy because the whole video is about 3 minutes long, right? 3-minute video, and about 1 minute in is when the anomaly occurs. And it only takes 2 minutes to go from, oh, it's all the way up in space, it's nowhere near anybody, right? To intersecting the horizon. We'll keep watching the video because watch. It blows up. There you go. We scroll back. It blows up. And 2 minutes later, it is almost down at the horizon. Now, is it going over the horizon or is it actually splashing down? I've heard so many people say, oh, it's not a big deal. It's so high in space, yada, yada, yada. It comes down pretty quick.
I mean, I think there's a way to look at this and acknowledge that this RUD is very bad, not least of which because this vehicle is going to be a crewed vehicle at some point.
Right.
And right now it's all fun and games because it's test flights, right? And we can look at something like this and be like, oh, cool, you know, it looks like a meteor shower. And the concern is, you know, aircraft and people on the ground, which of course is a big concern. But eventually there's going to be people on this thing. So one way or the other, you know, whether there was a hazard posed to any actual people, which, you know, I've seen some people say yes, I've some people say no. I am not a hazardologist, so I will refrain from speculating on that until I you know, learn more or hear otherwise. But just it's such a weird thing. It's such a beautiful thing to see, and also such a terrible thing to see.
Oh, that's
Look
so
at
bad.
that. It's like, oh, it's in space. And now it's like coming down at a 30-degree, 40-degree angle or something like that.
I mean, having seen a bunch of ISS passes,
Yeah.
I feel like that's way up there. It doesn't look like it's way up there, but it's way up there.
You think it's way
I
up
could be
there and
wrong.
it's spread out like tens of miles or 100-mile width?
Oh yeah.
Debris
I
coming
think
down in a 100-mile radius? That doesn't sound good.
I think if that was really low down, you wouldn't be seeing that crazy twilight effect in the like, look at the clouds,
Yeah.
for example, and look how the underside of those clouds is dark versus the underside of that contrail is light. So I don't know, you could probably calculate the sun angle and blah,
You
blah,
probably
blah.
could.
But like, I think it's way up there.
Do we
I
have
could
the
be
sun
wrong.
behind us? Like, it doesn't look like we go all the way back to see the sun.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just to reiterate my long rambling point, it is a big deal. It's a big deal, but at the same time, I you know, the FAA has these hazard areas and has the ability and planning to reroute these aircraft.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good that this happened. It's bad.
This is
that
another
said,
video, by the way. We've changed to another video. Is this the one that's from an aircraft cockpit?
It looks like an aircraft cockpit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at
now
that.
this
Ooh,
sketches me out. I don't like
Yeah.
this.
that's not great.
It's like an orbital shotgun. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all the parts re-entering right there. But
It looks like two very large pieces and then one medium-sized piece, and then each of those three items all
Has
sort
a cloud.
turned into a cloud of debris. That's
Look
what
at
I'm
that.
completely guessing here, if that's not clear.
those small,
Can't stress that enough.
all the small little like speckles, like all the little
Mhm.
particles, those are probably tiles. Those are probably tiles
Probably.
that are getting heated up. And
I would
mean,
guess.
Dos, you said like, look, it slowed down so fast. Well, that generally is what happens,
Yeah.
right? When it explodes like that, stuff's really going to slow down.
Especially tiles. Like the tiles are so light
Yeah,
and they have
they're-
such a big surface area.
Yep.
The tiles will almost like fall out of formation. Like, remember when we saw the hot staging ring?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the hot staging ring is passing it. And then all of a sudden the drag kicked in and the hot staging ring goes poof past
Yep.
the booster because the
Yep.
booster doesn't slow down and the lighter,
Yep.
more drag surface area, drag to mass ratio, blah, 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 goes flying past. But
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's very tired.
Yeah, see all those little speckles are probably tiles.
look at that.
It's so interesting to me how there's like a green one and a red one, and then
Yep.
there's a bunch of different colors in between and whatnot. But like, man,
So that's just different stuff burning off, like copper,
no, yeah,
and stainless.
for sure, it's different metals or different materials. I want to know what's what, right? Like the green is lithium, or the green is copper, or like
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
you know,
Well,
whatever
the green
it
would be
is.
copper, so the green's probably the engines.
The color
also
of your exploded Starship reentry depends on which part of the atmosphere it blows up in.
That's right.
In the higher atmosphere, electrons are
You heard it here first.
Ryan in our back channel saying every time the ship is blown up with Block 1 ships, at least the nose cone separates. So I guess in this case the front fell off.
The front fell off.
Well, was it removed from the environment?
It looks like it's
Unfortunately,
going to
that
the
looked
environment.
very much in the environment, which is the problem.
Yeah. Well, is this kind of thing normal to happen with ships, Jack?
No, it's quite unusual.
So don't you think they would prepare? Like, if it's quite unusual, then why did it happen?
The thing we need to do, what we should do is go back to the folks who sent us each of these videos and ask where it was filmed from. Because that, you could take that and you could take the viewing angle. Like, we know that the trajectory was going this way and that cruise ship was here. And that would help inform, were you seeing it go down into the water or were you seeing it going over the horizon, or what you're saying? I think a missing piece of context, and this is what happens. Something big happens. Everybody wants to come out and bat for their favorite side. And that wasn't a big deal. That was a big deal. Whatever, right? And you sort of skip a lot of facts some of the time. So I think the right thing to do is figure out where those things were filmed from and sort of triangulate exactly what was happening. There's reports that debris came down on the islands.
Oh,
And
any
I don't know if that's
debris
true.
hitting land in any way is a huge problem.
Well-
I mean, just look at what SpaceX is doing with Dragon recovery, right?
Yep.
They're moving Dragon recovery from the East Coast to the West Coast because a whole lot of Dragon trunks have been showing up in places where you wouldn't generally want them to show
up. Farmers Fields generally, luckily, not like downtown LA or anything like that.
But I take that seriously, and I'm sure SpaceX does as well, right?
Yeah. There's reports, and even the FAA statement, we'll probably show the FAA statement a little bit here, but even the FAA statement was said they're working to verify or make sure that they're true, basically, right? Because you see a picture, you see a video of a guy on Instagram or whatever, and he's like, oh, we came up the hill and there's this debris or whatever. And, well, is that actually debris from that? Is it possible? There's an entire thing between the claim that Starship dropped debris in a habited area and, yes, that is actually a piece of Starship. It's not the bumper from a 92 Corolla or anything like that, right?
Right.
I'm getting waved at that I should read something in the back channel. So is there new information that's come up? Hang on, let me go look.
Here we go.
Back channel. Read the back channel. Look over
There are
here.
no
It's like
reports of public injury, and the FAA is working with SpaceX and appropriate authorities to confirm reports of public property damage on
Thank you.
Turks and Caicos.
Y'all
Is
just
how I
say that out loud. Just be like, it's there. You just read this. I think that's what the hand motions were.
Sorry, I did not see that. I'm a failure. I'm on my laptop screen right now, so I overlap all my windows, and so I've got the back channel, YouTube chat, the software we use, it's just a lot of things. Sorry, guys.
Wait,
I need
what
more
does that
windows.
say?
I need more
During the
screens.
FAA activated debris response area and briefly slowed aircraft
Outside the area.
outside the environment. Sorry. Where space vehicle debris was falling or stopped the aircraft at their departure location. So it seems like the debris response area is more of a precautionary thing than anything.
Well,
You know what I
it's
mean?
interesting. The debris response area is a very specific thing, and I've been researching this. I've just been learning about it today and texting pilot friends and stuff. Please correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding was they only activate a debris response area if debris falls outside an expected zone. Like, that's a specific thing that happens.
Yeah, not great, Bob.
And it only happens if it had fallen in the expected zone, it doesn't activate a debris response area. Now, I'm not a pilot. I've been trying to verify sources, but I also had to get up this morning and go and pull the trailer from SpaceX and do all sorts of other stuff.
Oh my God, we got up at 7 a.m. this morning, and we've been going since.
It's been
I was like
84 hours.
It's been 84 hours. So that's a whole other thing. But I see some people in chat, just to circle back, somebody claiming that SpaceX dropped an engine on their goat or whatever. Well, okay, let's go see the goat and see the engine and see if it came from SpaceX and actually validate that that's true. And that doesn't instantly happen. I know we all want immediate social media, and the guy with the picture is, oh, I'm the media now. But a piece of stainless steel that you found on the side of the road is not conclusively from Starship, right? It may be.
Yeah.
It may very well be.
Two thoughts. One, around the time of SN 5 and 6, I was on the beach here in Boca, and I found a metal sphere, and I was like, Starship part.
Yes, I'm rich.
And I showed it to S Padre. I showed it to Gene, Space Padre. And I was like, dude, Starship part, what do you think? And he's like, bro, that's from a septic pump truck. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I've just been touching that. No big
That's
deal.
a poop valve, actually.
So that's
That ain't no meteor, Jack. What you got there is a poop valve.
I don't think I've ever actually told that story. And two, second point is I think, EJ, we were actually talking about this at the pad earlier. Nothing is black and white.
Right.
The internet
Yep.
wants you to think everything is black and white, and it's so not.
This
Nothing
happened.
in life
No, it
is
didn't.
black and white,
Yes, it
except for
did.
literally the two colors, black and white.
Even they're not. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, it's the absence of color. It's all color. Okay, anyways. You so derailed me. Basically, all I want to say is there will be people out there who have a certain point of view or agenda who are like, oh, this is the worst thing that ever happened. And there will be people out there who will completely whitewash this and think, oh, no, it's fine. Fly test fail. It's fine. Neither of those is true.
Yep.
The truth lies somewhere in the gray area between the black and the white in this situation. And we'll learn more. Maybe we'll find which side it tilts toward as we learn more over time and the investigation wraps up. But I just wanted to make that point. I have like no brain cells, so if I just start making no sense, you can just tell me like, Jack, you are making no sense, my guy, and I'll just.
I've been keeping up with you. I think you're fine.
Yeah, and I'm trying to read through the chat here. Like we're not on a computer with 8 screens like we normally are. We have the show up here so we can sort of see what's being shown. And I'm reading through chat and trying to look at some stuff. Did y'all see Scott Manley? Right, we know Scott Manley.
Hello.
Talking about did the FTS activate? And in a situation like that, should the FTS have activated, right? Like loss of control of the ship creates a situation where the FTS may activate, right? If you can't talk to it, you don't know what the status is or whatever. Should it activate there? You're still sort of flying over the islands. Is it a rethinking? He was almost sort of arguing that you should rethink, or maybe we should rethink FTS and let it stay in one piece until it gets further out into the Atlantic and then blow it. And then you have all the little pieces fall down over an area in the middle of the Atlantic. Or I think I'd have to go back and read exactly what he said. I think he was saying maybe we should have just left it stay in one piece if we knew where it was going to come down. Should the FTS have gone off, is it better to shower small pieces? In this specific instance, we're using stainless steel instead of some of the other lighter, less resilient materials, right? Is it better to let Starship come down in one piece and limit this zone, or do you want to blow it up and spread it out over hundreds of square kilomiles?
What? What is a kilo? What the heck is a kilometer?
It's 1,000 miles, EJ. Moving right along.
I think it's a very contextual situation. Wow.
Elaborate. What do you mean by that?
I think it's a very contextual situation. I mean, just because that would be good for what Starship is doing right now doesn't necessarily mean that it would be good in other scenarios, right?
Yep.
Like, I'm trying to think. Okay, so there was a Delta rocket launch in 1985, or actually 1986. It was right after Challenger, and they lost thrust vector control, and the thing just started careening out of control. It started spinning around all over the place, and you never know if that whole rocket is just going to sail off in one direction.
Yep.
I mean, would it be better to keep Starship as one piece? Yeah, maybe. But what if that one piece lands like in the Bahamas, like on an island
or whatever?
What if that one piece goes there?
Yeah.
Like, but then again, what if you shower down, millions of pieces over that one piece? I don't know. I think blowing up the ship's probably a good idea. I mean, in this particular case. But see, here's the thing about making reentry vehicles. They're designed to make it through reentry.
Right.
So if you blow it up while it's going through reentry, pieces are very likely to get to the ground.
Have a bunch of pieces that are going to,
If this is a stage or something, it's burning up.
Yep.
They lost signal with the vehicle like 21,000 kilometers an hour. That's like 80% of the way there.
Yep. Like it's going to go
really
a long
close.
way around.
It's
really close.
You're going to get reentry, but if your whole vehicle's made out of tiles, all those tiles are going to make it through.
Yeah.
They're going to make it through.
Luckily, they're
So,
light. Like the
yeah, of
tiles
course.
themselves are going to floofity flop down like a feather. They're super light.
Even like a
styrofoam.
whole
I
ring
give you-
will pop off, right? And with tiles, and it'll still make it through.
Make it
That's
through,
a big
yeah.
piece that it's going to make it through. This is the game we're playing here. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Jack, go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I give you permission to hit me with a Starship heat shield tile at terminal velocity if I
Yeah.
can keep the tile.
It's if I can keep the tile. It's like the penny from the top of the Empire State Building, right? You hear this story and it's like, oh, you drop a penny and it'll go through your skull from whatever, right? Well, actually, the terminal velocity of a penny, because it doesn't have a lot of mass and it has a lot of surface area, is not going to do much if you drop it on somebody's head. Don't do this. NASA spaceflight, not
Yeah,
responsible.
don't do that.
Don't
Yeah, do
empirically
that.
try to test this or anything, right? But I think another thing to think through there, if the ship is all in one piece, it will make it further, right?
Yeah.
So consider the scenario where the ship hasn't cleared land yet, or a chain of islands like this. If you blow it up, it's likely going to rain. Those smaller pieces are going to slow down faster and potentially rain in the habitable area. If you kept it together, it may coast further and clear the land, and then you blow it up.
Yeah.
Like,
but,
is there something to think about there with these new super resilient ships?
yeah. I mean, yes, but that's where the flight restriction area is. You know, there's a corridor there that you're expecting it to come down in. So
Yeah.
even if you blow it up, it's still going to come down in that corridor. It just seems like,
But it might not have.
what do you? I mean,
They activated the debris response area, which, again, like my reading of how that works, they blew it up and it exited the debris. It potentially, I don't want to say it did for sure.
that's what I mean. It's
You know
potential.
what I mean?
think they did it as a contingency, man.
Yeah.
You know, you have the ship blowing up. You have planes in the area. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I would be like, no, do not fly over there
Yep.
at all. Like, I don't know if the ship's coming down.
Yep.
We don't know where it's coming down. It's untracked. It's an unknown.
Yep.
Turn around
Yep.
before you fly in and a Raptor smacks your plane. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, you don't. I think it's all precautionary, which is the right move.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be very clear. That is the right response. But, you know, I haven't, unless we see like a Raptor being towed around on some farmer's pickup truck. You know what I mean?
Truck.
Right? Like,
It's like a boat with a Raptor-shaped hole in it or something.
yeah,
like.
right. Exactly.
And most of the pieces, you see this, you see all this glittering stuff, and so
Yep.
many of the pieces aren't going to do much,
Yep.
right? They're super light. They may get lofted further, like they may leave the zone because tiles get picked up by upper-level winds, and they're super light, and they blow out of the zone or something, right? We've
Mm-hmm.
seen that happen with Starship before, but you don't want them to get sucked into a jet engine.
Yeah, that would be
Right?
bad.
Just because you could get booped on the head with a styrofoam heat shield tile doesn't mean you want to ingest one.
I would, if I was controlling the center in that area, which is like kind of the person that controls the entity that
It's
controls the
Miami
area.
Center for down there.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
I'd be like, just turn around.
Yeah.
Just turn around. Do you want? I mean, unless you want. I mean, do you want to? Okay, you could be on time for your flight. You could try to be on time for your flight, or
Yeah.
you could absolutely you like with maybe a shoddy guarantee that you're going to get there on time,
Yeah.
or you could turn around and wait an hour, fly around for an extra hour, and
Yep.
be sure to get there on time. I mean, look at that. You want to fly through that?
I don't want to fly
Nope.
through that really.
I
no.
would not. If I was, Miami Center was right to turn everybody around, declare disaster field, even out of precaution.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just an abundance of caution. Big
Yeah.
deal. Like, oh, you're 20 minutes late. Like
And-
I saw a thread on X earlier today,
Mhm.
and I'm just going to extremely roughly paraphrase like one post in that entire thread, which is really good. I don't have the link. I'm sorry. I'm
That's okay.
barely awake. But it, basically, the gist of it was this inconvenienced a couple dozen flights at max, which
Nah.
not great.
Keep it going. I'll listen to the rest of it, but
A
We don't-
thunderstorm in Texas inconveniences far more in terms of Houston and Dallas. And I know
Right.
all of us here have flown through Houston and Dallas on the way to Brownsville, and all of us here have been delayed by a thunderstorm. So I'm not saying this is okay. I want to be clear about that. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying just playing fast and loose with air traffic and space debris is something that anybody should be allowed to do.
yeah.
I don't think that. What I do think is that let's put this into context. You know, something clearly messed up happened, but at the same time, you know, was it hundreds of thousands of people in danger? No. Was it thousands? Probably
Yes,
not.
I think so.
You think it was thousands?
I
don't
think it
was
might have been.
thousands.
I,
If it made it, if pieces actually made it to the ground, I would agree with you. But I'm
Yep.
talking strictly airliners right now. Like, really, is there that many planes out there? Thousands?
it's just you said people, not planes, right?
Well,
thousands
yeah,
of
but
people.
like each plane carries what, a couple hundred people? I guess, yeah, thousands.
Yeah.
Man,
Like
planes
12,
are people
12
too.
Planes
All
are
right?
12
Planes
planes.
are people
12
too.
yeah, planes. I am
Oh,
a planes
I
spotter.
gotta.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into us in chat. If you want us to move on to another topic, let us know. But not all of the traffic is your super modern planes, right? And we talk about, oh, the FAA had a plan and they did this stuff. I'm a pilot. I know how this works, right? Oh, the FAA just did all this stuff. That's great if you're flying your 787 across the Pacific. But not every plane has all the technological tools that the big planes have. So there are smaller planes. I actually reached out to a couple pilot friends to ask about this. There are smaller planes that have the potential to be out of radio and data contact when they're flying through these areas, especially the oceanic areas like this, right?
Yeah, but they're still susceptible to TFRs. Like they have to know that.
They're TFRs, but not the disaster, sorry, that's the wrong term. The debris, if it exits the field, FAA can go out there, everybody can say, hey, there's this thing, broadcast it on the radio, send the text messages, do everything that they do. It's not going to get to every plane. So there will be planes that think that they're not, okay, the TFR is there, I'm not going to go through it. But if this thing happens and there's not a mechanism to get in touch with them, they may end up in danger because this thing has happened.
I mean, yeah, I see your point, but who's flying VFR in the middle of the ocean?
Somebody,
Yeah, I guess.
the smaller planes that are doing routes that are hopping between islands,
Yeah, maybe.
or going from the mainland. Like this is why I reached out, because I'm not a pilot and I don't know. But it's not like, oh, we just hit the big red button and everybody diverts. Like, that's great in theory, but it doesn't actually work that way, right?
Right, if you think about boats too, like, they have marine notices, and yet there are still wayward boats.
Yeah.
So that is possible. We can move on. Like, we don't have to only do the show. I mean, only do the show on this, but I did want to talk about it because it's a big deal.
There's one more big point I want to hit, because this is the big thing I did a bunch of research on, because it's controversial and everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody likes to jump to conclusions and stuff.
It's a mat that you can jump to different conclusions.
Oh my gosh.
on. That's the worst idea I've ever heard
in my life. It's horrible.
Okay. Do we have the map that shows where the TFR, like the restriction and then the warning areas are? I don't know if we can get that or not. If you've looked at that, or next time you see that, scroll through social media, notice the different colors, because one area there in the Gulf, right around where the booster is red, and then you have this other area that's a different color. And a thing to remember is that they didn't close that entire area during launch. It's just part of the Gulf that's closed during launch. Oh, what?
Yep.
Booster quick disconnect has been disconnected.
Booster QD's been
We could just look
disconnected.
out the window if we want to see
that's
this
what
shit.
I've just been doing in the back channel is if you've seen pained expressions on my face while you've been talking, it's not because I don't like you or don't like what you're saying. It's because I just found out that both that road closure is still on for tonight. I was wrong at the start of the show, and the booster quick disconnect has been retracted, which means they're probably going to lift this booster here.
Well, we're going to have to turn this thing on and point it towards it. We got other cameras for that.
That's true.
We should do that.
Anyways,
like run and try to get the booster lift.
We do need to talk about your tracker.
We'll get there.
It's beautiful. We will get there. You did cook on this launch. Everybody cooked.
I was very happy.
Mary cooked. Tyler cooked. Everybody cooked.
EJ is cooked. Wait,
Caesar cooked.
I told you to wear long sleeves.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
my bad.
Anyways, I guess the outcome, the one thing we haven't mentioned is there is a statement from the FAA. There's going to be a SpaceX. SpaceX is going to need to do an investigation and report back the findings of the investigation. They do that anyways. We know they do that anyways. They're not dumb. They need to know what happened to the ship. That's going to be a thing. Is it going to be 6 months of downtime? I don't think so. Is it going to be not Flight 8 next week? Probably not Flight 8 next week. Jack, how long do you think that's going to take?
That's a really good question. I honestly have no idea. It could be a month. It could be 6 months. I don't think it'll be 6. I think it'll be closer to a month.
Yeah.
My question that I'm going to Uno reverse card at you and EJ is previously we had all expected Flight 8 to be a catch if this one went well for the ship.
Yep.
Given how badly this went for the ship, which I mean, I would class this as like a catastrophic failure of the upper stage.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a stretch.
I think that's fair. Yeah. let's hear what the exact cause was, right? But
right,
yeah,
right. But like, given how bad this was, do you think that if on 8 they get a successful Block 2 ship reentry and the whole profile again, do you think they'll go for a catch on 9, or do you think something like this will make them a little bit more, or a little bit less cavalier? I guess I should say. Go for it.
Uno reverse again,
Oh,
right?
oh.
Because how many of you expected this to happen on this flight?
I kind of did.
You did? You expected Block 2 to go kablooey?
Maybe this is just I'm like claiming
Jack's
the benefit
jading?
of hindsight.
Yeah.
But go back to the launch stream and listen to when Joe and I talk about this, because Joe asked me this, and I think I said something like, it'll probably make it, but it'll fail on reentry or something like that. And Joe was like, no, I'm not going to bet against SpaceX. They rule. And I was like, they do rule, but also new ship, something like that. I could be
Okay, I know. I'll buy it.
misrepresenting the.
I didn't expect it, like so many successful flights in a row and all the way around to the Indian Ocean, and buoy cam shows the thing coming down. Starship is indestructible, right? Then all of a sudden, Starship is very destructible.
Here's a question from JS Webb. Why did we not talk about this every other time Starship blew up? I think part of that is, A, there's crazy footage of it right now because it flew over populated areas when it blew up, not the Indian Ocean, where there's nothing.
Right.
And B, because this was a new ship. This was a new iteration of ship, and we sort of expected the iteration to go in a, line goes up on graph. We all want graph with line go up. We don't want graph with line go down.
I think it's like 95% the first thing. It blew up catastrophically within sight of a more populated area, right? It's not flying over Detroit or anything, but there were people with cell phones out there, and it got caught in a huge spectacle sky show, right? Versus previously, all right, the booster FTS happened, but it's right there in the Gulf. We all saw that. It wasn't a big deal. This was like a different thing, right, EJ?
Yeah. I mean, I think take into account is, look, this, it was funny, there's the NSF opening video. NSF, like Jack goes, it'll be igniting the flare, right? It blows up. Yikes, you bet. Concur. Like, that was when the design was a lot less mature, right? Yep. And I get it. It's a new ship, no doubt, right? But you really shouldn't be losing a whole ship at this point in the rate of SpaceX's iteration. Like it was, SN9, they didn't get the control system figured out. It hits the ground nose first, blows up. That's funny, right? Like that's hilarious, right? Like, and you get into which one was it? Flight 3, where it's kind of spinning out of control during reentry, right?
Just do a Kerbal or whatever. Like,
Flight 4.
Was that the Kerbal flight?
That was Flight 1.
Was that Flight 1?
Flight 1's flipping end over end. You're expecting
it's basically every Starship flight so far. But yes, continue.
Yeah, but you're expecting, you're expecting those failures to be, you have a flight like Flight 5, right? Or Flight 6, I mean, minus the antenna. I still think Booster 13 did just fine. It did everything that it needed to do, right? It showed that their contingency procedures
wonder if they could have caught that. Yeah, I bet they could have caught that thing.
I bet you they could have caught it. It was out of an abundance of caution.
Yep.
So you get into these flights where you're starting to see the hardware kind of mature, right? And then you get to a point here where they launch it just blows up again. Like, that's not
it was
great.
Very surprising to me.
That's not really what you want right now.
I was there. The launch happened and had the fantastic. We're tracking it. It looks amazing. The sound's amazing.
Oh, it was great.
And I'm like there from that sort of dopamine hit, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, coast phase, good. I have time to get stuff off memory cards. And okay, clean this up, yada, yada, yada. And all of a sudden, it gets really serious. And I was like, what? We got like 90 minutes to pull replays. And Kevin, I think Kevin's going to jump in with us in a little while here. I don't know if we're still doing that or not. But anyways.
We better.
We have all of this time in the world, and then it gets serious. All of a sudden, I was like, wait, what happened? And the ship blew up like way before we thought anything else was going to happen. So I was a big surprise to me.
Alex raises a good point in the back channel.
Yep.
Flight 2 blew up as well. The ship blew up.
It did something very similar.
But it broke up after Flight 1, which was a complete catastrophe. So
it seemed like an improvement.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's what I'm getting. I see some people over in Twitch chat are like, oh, this is nowhere near a mature design. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not near a mature design. What did the Flight 6 Starship do? What did the Flight 5 Starship do? What did the Flight 4 Starship do? You shouldn't be taking steps backwards with iterative design. Now, don't get me wrong. SpaceX did change a bunch of things, and that was a judgment call. And if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. the whole point of rapid iteration is to not take steps backwards. You're supposed to fail forward, not fail backwards. This is a backwards failure. That's
Yeah.
bad. That is bad.
Yeah.
Can I do something really quick?
Sure.
No.
Yes, please.
Just a, shot and
You need to
chaser?
duck the birds.
Yeah, can we full screen me real quick?
No, don't do that to him.
What?
Full screen
Just
us.
full- birds! Okay, I'm done.
You're supposed to have on a white dress, I think, when you do that. But anyways.
You all right?
All right, hey,
I don't know if any of us are.
You gonna be all right?
Hey, Kevin, are you there?
I am.
Hey!
It's Kevin.
Are you on the right mic?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Am I?
You sound echoey.
We hear your room and ourselves a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Echo!
That's not good.
Not good.
It actually exo.
Baby! Ruth! Baby!
You might be
Ruth!
on multiple mics, Kevin. But I didn't know we were doing this. This is exciting because we usually get to hear your voice sparingly when we almost never get to see your beautiful face. So, what are we doing here?
He's
We're gonna
lying
do
to
like a director's cut.
I think it's director's
so.
track.
I think Jay has fixed the echo problem. Chat, just let us know if that's correct.
Y'all hear
You know
sound
what?
okay?
I want to challenge you guys a little bit.
No.
Ooh.
But no one has actually answered this question. Was this a failure?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
The booster part was pretty sweet.
The booster part was pretty sweet. Yeah.
The booster part was pretty cool.
But that's not the primary objective. That's all they always stress. That's the secondary objective. That's the icing on the cake. Yada yada yada.
Bingo.
Even the way
Ship, this, like-
Elon put it, wasn't Elon? Did I read that tweet right? It was like, okay, like 1 out of 4 for each. It's like the booster 4 out of 4, or is this when am I reading somebody else that said this? And the
Sure.
ship 1 out of 4. So it's like 5/4 successful or 5/8 successful or whatever.
Ryan
Yeah,
on our
bitch.
back channel says they have icing without cake, which is disgusting.
Okay.
They have
That's amazing.
icing without cake.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, look, I love SpaceX. You guys know like SpaceX. I mean, what I just saw, that would make anybody a SpaceX fan with the booster.
Oh yeah.
Right? But yeah, with iterative design, and I'm not saying this because I have some axe to grind with SpaceX.
Yeah,
like folks out there, like you can tell, like people are like, I just hate them. You know, they suck. It's like no, they don't. But you really don't want to take a backward step in your iteration. You're supposed to fail forward with iterative design. This kind of does that, but also like
It spins. Sorry.
it can do that.
Sorry. No, I was just, I had to spin it. EJ, no, focus over there. Gosh, sorry.
Hey, why'd you do that? I'm confused.
Are they
No,
lifting this thing?
What?
Are they lifting this
Probably.
thing?
Somebody yell if it starts to get an air gap underneath it.
Are the chopsticks? No, that's the QD arm.
That's the QD arm pullback. Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, you'd call that a challenge? That wasn't a challenge.
Well,
We're pretty
because
unanimous.
I agree that it is a failure, but I guess I wonder if after the last flight, if they made decisions to focus on making sure the booster doesn't fail again, right? They aborted the chopstick catch on the last flight, and this time they had to show that the chopstick catch works. And I wonder if they diverted engineering attention to the chopsticks, to the catch, and it was okay if they lost the ship. I'm just,
Yeah, I mean, interesting to think about.
Not
I feel
here.
Like,
I
feel
don't
like there
think
was a
so
time-
here.
I think it's okay for them to lose a ship. I don't think they want to lose a ship like that.
Yeah, that's the exact point. And Jack, you jump in a second, but this was the Block 2 design. They needed to see how the reentry heating affected the new flaps that were tucked back around the side, the new design of the flaps, the heat shield changes that they made, right? To see the black paint that they put on and removing tiles, intentionally missing tiles where they're seeing how it affects things, or there's super secret metal tiles on there and that sort of stuff. They got none of those objectives done. And that was a huge thing with proving out Block 2 because it didn't get to reentry.
Yeah, that's
So
like
from
I
a
said.
ship
That's
perspective, it's a total.
that's failing backwards. That's not what you
90%
want.
failure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, sorry, go ahead, dude.
Jack,
No, you're good. Don't be sorry. You're totally good. I have no brain cells.
I mean,
You have lots of brain cells. You're saying smart stuff, so continue.
just
Thank you.
one thing, dudes. The other thing to take into account is that they put Ship 33. They put it out at Massey's. They put it on the test stand. They fired it. They fired it to the deal. They were blue in the face, and everything worked fine. I think something to take into account, like, yeah, you're no doubt that that's a big problem. That's a big deal. But
Yeah.
I think something to kind of, I'm gonna steer us in a little bit of a different direction here. Something to take into account is that, look, this problem was, we can't prove it, but there's a little, if you watch that footage, there's a little metal flap kind of, hanging off the side, right,
barely
of
hanging
Ship
in there.
33, and
Yeah.
then the fire just came from wherever that was coming from, right? Like, that's, maybe they're going too fast. Maybe they're going too fast. That reeks of doing it quick.
That
trying to
reeks
get it
of
done.
process failure.
Bingo.
I really don't. I don't get that vibe. I understand that, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like Ship got the head start with the program, right? They started with Ship, and for a long time, Ship was basically pretty good. I mean, they got to the point where they landed SN-15, and then they got to the point where they were building Block 1 ships, and they got to the point where they were re-entering pretty darn well. Even what was it, 28 with its wonky flap, and I feel like Booster definitely has been soaking up, or at least needed more resources. To Kevin's question, has Booster taken resources to the detriment of Ship? Or has something else like Tower or Chopsticks taken resources to the detriment of Ship? I don't know, but I do feel like this is as my one of my high school English teachers would say, this is a come to Jesus moment. Like it's not the end of the world. It's not, but it's also not okay. And this is a moment for SpaceX to sort of pause, even if in a SpaceX pause is equivalent of like an hour or whatever.
Well, I'm pretty sure the FAA is going to pause them whether they like it or not.
Right,
so.
right. Figure out what went wrong, and then now give the ship.
It's our patch.
The same.
It's our patch in the background.
The same attention they gave the booster after Flight 1.
Yeah.
This is a moment for them to give the ship the exact same attention and love they gave Booster after Flight 1, when it was so very obvious that so much with Booster was not right.
The thing that gets me, Jack, the SpaceX engineers are freaking so good.
Look at this shot. This is like my favorite shot of the
We got to stop for a second. Hold on.
No, it's fine.
Whoever
like I said, the
shot
SpaceX
that,
engineers
if it's like
are so
an
good.
algorithm or something, like whoever shot
Look at that.
My God, you can die a happy
That's
computer.
righteous, man. Unbelievable.
It's insane.
Oh wow!
I can't believe that.
Doesn't
Dude, we
get
saw
better
it
than
do
that.
that. We saw it do
This
that.
is a drone shot.
still
Good
like,
Does not
grief.
get
Wait,
better
what?
than that.
Well, I'm just gonna watch this.
Yeah, no, that's
Torching the bottom of the tower. Look at that.
It's fine.
unreal.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right,
How are
Kevin,
you, Jack?
I want you to continue to challenge us. Give us a real challenge. But first, I'm going to be challenged by our members and supporters.
Thank you.
Isaac, thank you for becoming a PadRat member. Shiloh, thanks for the support. They say, just going to say it now, even if it doesn't make the stream, Ship 26 wouldn't have exploded, Kevin. This is the
No,
part
it
where you
wouldn't
make
have.
happy
You know why?
sounds.
You know why it wouldn't have exploded? Because they cut it up and threw it in the dumpster where it belongs.
But if they didn't cut it up,
Yeah, but they did.
it wouldn't have
Kevin.
been exploded.
No.
It would have landed perfectly.
What were we
We
saying
would all be
before?
so excited
It's
right
missing
now.
some important parts in order to be able to land perfectly, Kevin.
What were we saying
I hate
before?
to point that out.
Yeah, right? What were we saying before about, black and white and speaking in absolutes? Yeah, Kevin. Now how do you feel? Boom.
I have total faith that Ship 26 would have re-entered perfectly. Just stainless steel. It didn't even need any
It
tiles.
doesn't even need
Only-
tiles.
Guys,
It's just
The
stainless
tiles are just causing fires.
Dude, I can
know?
smell the coke from here.
steel. The tiles are just causing fires.
I'm not an engineer.
I don't even know what time it is.
You're not?
We should probably
Well,
move on.
Not a rocket engineer.
Okay, we'll try and speed
Support.
on these. Yeah, Christopher bought my print. Thank you, Christopher. Maybe we'll talk
Christopher, good for
we'll
you.
talk about that print a little bit later in the show.
We want to look at prints.
Yeah, it's a thing. Thank you so much, though. That's extremely. It's an honor. Space Pope, the Space Pope. That's a Futurama reference. Thank you for blessing this trench with a very generous super chat. Jim Yoder, thank you so much. They say, what is the most beautiful rocket launch you've seen, and why was it yesterday's New Glenn launch? Well, I didn't see it.
Oh.
So I think there's a single digit number of people on the planet that saw both New Glenn and Starship Flight 7, and I think their names are John Krause and Jade Boudreau. So I don't think anybody else made it from Florida over here. I know D and Max were trying to at
Yeah,
one
D
point.
and Max didn't. Yeah.
Just didn't line up. But it was a beautiful launch. Don't get me wrong. And we probably should talk about New Glenn at some point too, right?
Yeah, we'll get there. Let's wrap this up, right? Like, yes, the Starship blew up. It was a very visible event because the lighting was great to highlight how much debris there was. And it was over an area where a lot of people had their cell phones and stuff like that. Is it going to come to pass that debris actually did leave the zone? I don't know. Is it going to come to pass that it's true that debris fell on somebody's farm or house or car or whatever? I don't know. It seems super unlikely, but we'll see if that's true. But I guarantee you that SpaceX is going to figure it out because that's what they do. Is it a failure? Is it not a failure? You know something? It doesn't matter. They're not giving up. They're going to fix the issues. They're going to vent the engine bay and change the environment that can exist there. And they're going to launch another ship and another booster, and they're going to keep going until this thing works. So
Heck yeah.
It's interesting to talk through this stuff. We're going to see more Starships launch.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that was sort of the elephant in the room, right? Like we had to talk about that at the top of the show. So that's what I did. Sorry, Aramil. Thank you for the super chat there. They say, somebody order Cheesecake Fund. Thanks for an amazing few days. I think you guys have to order cheesecake now. Like, can you get on room service? We do need to order
cheesecake.
Like, can you call room service on air?
Should we do it on the show?
Please?
The phone's right there.
We'll
just call the
showcasing the excellent service at the Margaritaville Hotel, which this is not planned. I swear to God, this is not a bit. But we really do like the Margaritaville.
How long is the cord? It's wireless.
It's cordless. All right.
Hold up. What do I hit for the restaurant?
This is amazing.
Are you doing? Is this happening?
The problem is that I can't tell them what room to bring it to without doxing our hotel accommodations to 4,000 people.
Well, just mute yourself on on Discord when you say that part.
We'll be right.
And cover your mouth. We'll get lip readers out there.
Let's practice. Hang on. Oh, it's not plugged in. Oh, is my phone dead?
The phone isn't plugged in.
The phone's not even plugged into the wall. This is problematic. Plug it in now and let's get it charging. Just plug it in and see if I get a dial tone.
The reason, I know the reason it's unplugged is because when you are doing something like shooting a Starship flight, you plug in every outlet with every battery, and you very quickly run out of outlets and power strips and cords.
That is what happened, apparently.
Everything charges. And so I guarantee
we played ourselves.
Probably Jason,
we're gonna
unplugged
practice
that phone. Okay, you're going to practice? Okay,
I want to practice. All right. EJ, hang on. On cue, you mute the mic. Let's see if I could order cheesecake without doxing our hotel room. Yeah, can I get some cheesecake?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Yes. Like, how many guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just 6 orders of cheesecake to room. Please.
That worked.
I feel like I have to actually say it out loud because I didn't say it out loud, and that's not an honest test.
All right, but cover your mouth. But you have to cover your mouth because people will lip read.
We're in room.
This is amazing.
Yeah. No, that's the room that we're in.
The decision I have come to is that we are not prepared to order live on the stream.
Oh,
But we
please,
should,
please. All right, the phone's charging. Maybe you'll change your mind here in a little bit. But yeah, I want to talk more behind the scenes, like, inside baseball kind of stuff, especially with Starship Flight 7 and New Glenn being on the same
Who's
day.
on first?
And because Kevin's here. Kevin's on first.
We'll see how big the order cheesecake fund gets, and that'll determine if we try it or not.
So we do need to talk about tech stuff, and we need to talk about.
Yes.
You need to challenge us, Kevin. Where's the challenge?
Yes.
But before you do, I'm not done with support because we keep getting sidetracked.
Us? Really?
Yeah, we keep getting side-trenched.
Side-trenched.
Devin, thank you for gifting 20 Red Team memberships. Again, if you're a member, you get all kinds of sweet perks. There's a pre-show and post-show to the Flame Trench where things are even less sane.
Less sane.
Whoever was watching the members pre-show today got a real treat as Jay just went, "We're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1," and I was like, okay. At least usually Kevin gives me some amount of warning. I'd rather be flying an X-Wing. Thank you for the support. They say, if this is what Starship looks like, can we get a boat out for a viewing party when the ISS comes down? Because those views will be amazing. I've always wanted to see something big re-enter. Like my entire life. I've always wanted to see something big re-enter.
Yeah.
And whatever happens for the ISS, if there's any way to like station an NSFer, like circumferentially around the world at periodic intervals
That
in
would be
order
cool.
to ensure that we catch it needs to happen.
Does anybody remember when Mir came down?
Yes.
This
I
was
think
like
that's
a
probably why I
formative
wanted to
thing
see
for
something
me.
big come in.
I was in a pizza joint in Atlanta, Georgia, Rocky Mountain Pizza, eating pizza, and there's this little teeny tiny TV, like this old CRT TV, like a 14-inch TV, on this precarious mount on the wall. In live, Mir is coming down, breaking down, and we're sitting there eating our pizza, saying, "The end is Mir." I remember this. For some reason, it like writes the grooves in my brain. Yes, we should go see ISS re-enter.
I'm so down. Remember the clip stream we did last year in April when it was like a million cameras from all around? It should be that exact setup, but with the ISS re-entering. Of course, staying out of all hazard zones and abiding by all local laws and restrictions. All right. Bideford, thank you for the $50 super. You're so generous.
Yeah.
Always popping in. They say, good evening to 3 of my favorite hosts, plus my favorite producer, KMR. Jay's also here. What is Jay? Chopped liver? Oh, there's birds! There's birds! Okay. You were all great yesterday. Thanks for doing this tonight. No worries.
Nice.
Steve Kalovic, thank you for the support. They say, if SpaceX is on the right path, is SpaceX on the right path? 7 test flights and no reliability yet. How many more iterations are needed? I seriously want them to succeed, but I'm starting to lose confidence in this project. I feel for you.
Yeah,
Steve, it's good, man.
I think they're fine. Like
you don't have to blow up 10 rockets in order to get a payload into orbit.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, no, they're fine. Don't lose faith. They'll be. That one fell flat.
Duck and cover.
That one fell flat.
Oh no, it didn't. That's why I was looking at the camera. Like,
no, don't lose faith in SpaceX. How many times did they try to land a Falcon 9 before it popped? Like there was,
I don't know off the top of my head. Actually,
there was SES 8, SES 9.
He'll know off the top of his head.
Yeah, that's why he pays me the big bucks.
Okay.
Wait, you get paid the big bucks?
No. Wait, you get paid?
Birds!
Okay. I'm going to show up with a comically large dollar next time we hang out.
Oh, can it be a check with my name on
big
it?
Bucks.
I mean, look at all the times they had problems with Falcon 9. Like Elon famously has that video of all the Falcon 9s that bought it trying to get
not to land.
Not to land an orbital rocket booster. Even one after they landed Orbcomm 2, the Jason 3 mission in January of 2016 failed. It failed. It tipped over because a locking collar didn't lock into place. Nobody lost faith. Nobody lost faith then. I mean, there were still all the people that were like, landing the booster doesn't make any sense. That's never going to work. Yeah, I'm wondering where those people are now. Hey, you out there? Yeah, you were wrong. Deal with it. Actually, they're probably the same people that say, well, catching a booster doesn't make any sense. I tried to catch a booster once in 1987, and it didn't work because it was a solid rocket booster. They'll never do it. I don't know why that guy sounds like that, but
sounds like that.
Boy, I tell you what. More support, I swear.
About, right? Dude, don't lose faith. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a gut punch. This is a punch square right there. This one, this one hurts. Yeah, Jack's right. This one hurts. You definitely don't want it. This is iterating the wrong way. The ship already made it into space. Everyone's like, well, technically it's not orbit. Yeah, I get it. It's close enough. The Starship could get into orbit. It's been there, and you're going backwards here. That's not good. But yeah, no, don't lose faith. Just bump in the road.
Yeah, like real quick. We love to say, what's the saying? If you're not failing, you're not innovating fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't say that and then claim that they never fail, right?
Yeah.
You have to fail some. And so it's okay to say that this is a failure because in order to fail, you have to be failing in order to be progressing fast enough or whatever. Right?
I mean,
moving along.
You got to take into account. They're in completely uncharted territory. At least with Falcon 9, it's like, it is a booster that could get orbital, right?
I'm not ready for this.
It's a booster that could get...
Keep talking.
The guy behind the camera's like, here's the phone.
Here you go. Time to order cheesecake.
I love it.
I lost my train of thought.
I do want to make a point that I had 2 brain cells flicker to life briefly for a second there. Imagine you're a team member at SpaceX. Imagine you spend your waking life building ships or boosters or what have you. How do you imagine they felt when they saw that footage? I
Oh,
bet
that
they
hurts,
felt
man.
like crap.
Yeah.
I bet that was a serious gut punch, especially if you work on ship. Nobody wants to make anything that endangers people.
Yeah. That's
People
a good
want
point,
to make
Jack.
the thing that takes us to Mars. So you better believe that every single person at SpaceX did not like what they saw yesterday and probably had a pretty crappy day, all things considered, unless they're on like booster team.
The booster team, the catch team, like they probably had a pretty good day.
Right. But that said,
yeah.
you know,
point taken.
They care. I don't think anybody is operating in bad faith there.
right.
Rod Toulouse, thank you for the support. Captain Q, thank you so much. I know they have no suborbital pads, but maybe they should have flown ship to 10K a couple of times to catch those issue 2 times or so. Raptor was such a different thing back then. I sure would have liked more low altitude flights, but Peter Moss, thank you for the super chat. They say Flight 8 should be about booster reuse of B-14. Plausible. Simon B, thank you for the support. They say, why is no one talking about the amount of fuel the booster came back with? Because we don't know how much it came back with. You can't rely on the frost lines, my guy.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Mark Garrett's. Mark, you don't have to do this. Why'd you do this?
Mark?
Gave us $100.
Marky Mark's
What?
in the Garris bunch?
That's a lot of cheesecake, Mark.
That is a lot of cheesecake. Maybe enough for me, even.
What kind of cheesecake are we getting?
It's gonna have gold,
instead of
it's gonna have gold
cheesecake.
leaf on it. No, I'm kidding.
From
Mark,
Target.
thank you for everything.
Yeah.
They say, above all, I'm still a massive fan of Spaceflight, and what better way to experience it here? In my role as a space fan, thank you all.
Nice.
Buddy, you're not. I don't even call your spot. You're not. You're. All right.
I like how you almost said space flan because you're hungry for dessert.
Oh God, I've never had flan. Is flan good?
It's like pudding. It's like
Take it or leave it. Kevin Odom, thank you. Liquid Think, thank you. They say, what about the engine that went out on boost back? Can the booster still be caught with a single engine out? Fun fact about that engine, they relit it for landing burn, and it lit that time. Go figure.
Yeah. An engine that didn't fire for the boost back burn fired for the landing burn.
They must have like a tiered set of flags, and they're like, oh, we're gonna flag this Raptor and not have it start up. We're gonna shut it down before the burn starts. But the thing that was wrong with it wasn't that bad, so we can still select it for the landing burn.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Something like that.
You've done that with your like lawnmower before, right? Where you like you keep a couple pulls to get it to start.
Yeah.
Do the choke. Maybe they just set the choke and then
they didn't push the little primer
the
bolt
little
enough
primer
times,
bolt.
or they pushed it
too many times. They flooded the Raptor. Like
I was gonna say, it's probably because when the booster flips around during hot staging, the propellants are sloshing around, so the engine may not have been primed.
I mean,
I'll be honest. That's probably what happened. So you're not wrong. Rocket lawnmower, like good.
Yeah.
Good.
rocket mower.
Anyways, you heard it here first.
Rick Skinner can't even. Cheesecake Rocket Fun Party. Thanks for the support.
Nice.
Snock Garden, worst name ever. Thank you for the support and being a regular, though, even though your name is the worst name ever. Except for maybe that one that I missaid that one time, which wasn't a real name, so it doesn't count.
But they can't stand cheesecake, and they're still chipping in $20 for the cheesecake.
Thank you, Snock Garden.
Yeah.
Seriously. WB Hokey 13, thank you for the support. What? $154?
Hey, what's
they say
up?
Cheesecake Fund for room with 154. I don't know if that's the room you're in.
I
but
mean, I feel
that
like we
was
should say I cannot
$154.
confirm or deny that that's our room, but also I want cheesecake. Like I don't want it to go to the wrong room. Like the balance in my brain is like.
So if a bunch of people called the Margaritaville Hotel and paid via credit card for cheesecake to room 154.
Don't do that,
Do
please.
not do this.
No, don't do that.
Don't
That's
do
not
it.
a
I
thing.
swear that is not our room number. Don't do that.
That was a joke.
Some lady's just like,
please don't.
What's going on? Mommy, why is there so much cake?
Oh no.
Like little kid has the best day of his life.
Yeah, I'm calling down to the front desk. Yeah, I had a bunch of cheesecake delivered to my damn room. What the heck kind of game? What the heck
sort of establishment are you running?
They're gonna talk about. Tell you what, man. I'm talking about cheesecake, dang old room service. I didn't order that.
This is the point where we actually need to call down to the restaurant and be like, hey, as a heads up, if people call ordering cheesecake, just don't.
Yeah, just run downstairs into the restaurant lobby and just run into the kitchen and just yell 86 cheesecake. They'll know what you're talking about.
86 cheesecakes?
No. 86. Okay, anyways, it's kitchen.
Moving right along. Y'all, thank you for the support. We're having fun with this. This is like a spool down show afterwards. So we threw the plane on the table into the chairs, and then it's like sitting back sort of deal, and then Jack has birds attacking him.
Get this. I might actually sleep after this.
Nice. Good.
All right.
Might.
You're not getting
haven't
anything.
edited, I haven't edited the two pad slow-mo cameras that I have yet. I have the memory cards right here. I could dump them on stream and go, oh my god, they look so amazing. But also we have a stream to do.
We do.
I might not sleep. We'll see. Russell Snodgrass, $100 super. Thank you, Russell. You're a regular, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
They say this has been such an awesome week of coverage, y'all. Thanks.
Thank
I've
you.
watched every launch with you, including Blue Glen. Ship 33 is the bomb. Oh God, Sawyer would be proud. Y'all are the bomb. Thank you so much,
Ship
Russell Snodgrass.
33 is
Thank
the
you,
bomb.
thank you, thank you.
My
Also,
wife is texting me threatening to order the cheesecake.
I love that so much. I hope she does.
Well, I love her, so it works
Gunfox,
out, Jack.
Also with a $100 super, $100 tip to tips.nasaspaceflight.com, which goes straight to us. So thank you. The Red Bull's kicking in. Can you tell? So Das and EJ,
Yes.
not sure if you said how your reaction was on your first catch, and did you enjoy? And also, this time, one of the camera mics did pick up the ring coming in.
Oh, we know.
Also,
not just first
pizza
catch, first Starship launch for EJ, right?
Yep. It was the first one. It was.
That's it. We're talking about it.
Yep.
We have to talk about it. Go.
Okay. You guys know me. If you don't know me, I'm pretty animated. If you've seen the Falcon Heavy footage, that was pretty awesome.
Double sonic booms!
Flex that. This thing blew my mind so hard. I had nothing to say. Like if you watch at the end of the main cast, we showed our reactions, and I'm just sitting there going, "What the heck is that thing doing?" Oh, there it comes back down. That's nice. You know, I couldn't believe what the heck I was seeing. It was one of those like do not compute moments. I'm like, that's pretty neat. Would you just look at it? Would you look at would you look at
Would you look at that?
Would you look at it? And then
Yeah,
and
but
then
you see, EJ, the thing about the Starship is that it blew up on the, and then you say, "Would you look at that?" And then I keep trying to talk, and you keep saying, "Would you?" And then the joke continues, and it's really.
Would you just look at it? Would you
Yeah,
just
but
look at? Would
But
you look
that
at
aft
it?
flap there is what's with that aft flap? Is it supposed to look like it's coming off in the reentry?
Would you just look? Would you just look at it? Oh, I'll
you.
look at that. Would you
Thank
just
you,
look at
EJ.
that? No.
Das is like, what's happening?
What?
I've missed a couple flame trenches, apparently.
No, it's an old internet video of a guy selling
you just
a car,
look
but
at
he's
it?
not actually selling the car. He just keeps telling the people that look at it to look at it. It's amusing.
So when the sonic boom actually happened, that's when it kind of clicked what was going on, and then I was like, yeah! You know, like that's when the metal scream happened. But throughout Ascent, I'm just like, wow, it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's nice. Oh, that's great. Look at it. That's nice. That's never happened. That's never happened before. I'm just like,
thing that I
that's pretty good.
really appreciated of your reaction on stream that I heard. I only heard bits and pieces here and there because, poor signal.
Yep.
Your reaction that I heard was everybody needs to come to Starbase and see this.
Oh, you got to see this.
Everybody needs to see this.
It's mind-bending stuff, like reality-altering if you like rockets. You're like, whoa. I mean, the thing's louder, and it's louder than any rocket. I've seen shuttle launches. It's louder. It is way louder than that. It packs a punch. It's a ridiculous vehicle. You see that first stage come back down, and it's going too fast. No, it's going too slow, to quote Chris, right? Like yeah, Jack, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It is like mind-bending. Like, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna crash. No, it didn't. No, maybe. Oh my
It's
goodness.
coming back too fast.
It's coming back too
It's
slow.
slowing down too much.
Dude,
It
that's
is
right.
crazy though. Like Das, you said this on the stream as well. The rates change so rapidly.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see it on your BTS feed that we have.
The time lapsed version of that. I don't know if Carson's around. Carson did a little time lapse thingy, but it was crazy. We had a little cloud context in the background, right? And how quickly it came down, and it's like sort of flying, and it picks up speed because it's accelerating. After it's boosted back, it's coming back down. It's accelerating. Gravity is acting on it and pulling it down faster and faster, right? It is crazy how fast that thing starts to fall, and it falls down faster than it takes off, which. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, of course it falls down faster than it takes off. Well, you don't really think about it. You think, okay, it goes like this up, and it comes like this down, right? That's not how it works. It takes off like this, and it comes down like this all of a sudden. So keeping up with it, I was here for the previous attempt where they aborted the catch, right? And so I sort of experienced that coming down, but not all the way back to the pad where it was closer. It was a little crazy seeing it come all the way back to the pad. And I experienced it a little differently. Everybody's grinning. I experience it a little bit differently because I'm so focused on the track, and I've done all this work on components and parts and stream stuff, and just trying to make all of that happen so we can share it with y'all. And so I'm laser focused. And at the end, part of my own experience is, did I do a good job keeping the rocket on the camera so you could see it too? I didn't look at the sky with my own eyes, right? And I get so much flack on old YouTube videos. Yeah, here you go. I'm looking at my monitors. I get the noise and stuff like that. Yeah, watch the tracker. You see the robotic tracker going? There it goes up.
Because if you think about it, the booster, even after engine shutdown, is still coasting upwards for a period of time.
Yep.
And it's just, this is where it's like, it's just hanging in the air at this point. Going what appears to be super slow.
Okay, then, it's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Wham! I mean, I say wham. It doesn't go like that, but just the rate that it goes down. There were a bunch of high fives in there, too.
Yeah. I love that. I love the sped up high fives and the pointing.
Yep, pointing and high fiving. And Gene's over here like this, and EJ's over here like this.
You see, I'm just sitting there like, wow, look at that. That's cool.
You can look at the brim of my hat. I'm not looking at it with my Mark 1 eyeballs. I'm looking at multiple monitors in front of me, my rates on my screen, my big monitor so I can see what y'all are seeing, my little monitor in case I lose it and I need to reacquire it. My hat brim does not go up, I don't think, the entire launch. And that's how I experience it, but it's because I want... I turn around, it looks like I punched somebody and fast forward.
You gave me the high five. You were like...
Because I want to come out and I want to do a good job sharing it with everybody else, like people that can't be here. Right?
That's at least half the fun for me as well.
It really is, Jack.
On the times where, some technical bugbear prevents my feed from going out, even if I got some really cool stuff, which I'm super happy and proud of.
Yep.
It's just a bummer, man. It's something I've really, it took me a little while to sort of realize and process that. And when we get the support and when we get, have members, all that stuff, and we say things like, oh, we have the best job in the world, it means the world to us. It's because it freaking does.
Yeah.
And just what? How do we do this? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Jack, but being able to share with everybody is like I said, at least half of the joy that I derive. Like sometimes I'll get a job from a company to shoot a thing, and I don't get credit on that. That's fine. I don't need credit. I don't have to have my name in the spotlight. But not being able to get people hyped up about it, that part is it can be less fun at times, because I like getting people hyped up about this stuff.
It's like, Jack, you can probably feel the same way I feel on this. I could go out and I could have seen that fantastic rocket launch, but and felt it and heard it in the sonic booms and everything. But if I screwed up my part in sharing it, right? Like if I messed up or I wasn't prepared, and so this didn't work because you forgot the power supply, like I might have made 4 flights ago or something. Like if I've screwed something up, I can see the most fantastic rocket launch ever, but my feeling at the end of it is like, because I feel like I failed people that are watching the show, who buy us cheesecake and support us and do all this stuff, like show up to the member stuff, post in the Discord, like all the stuff that y'all do. If I don't deliver on your trust, right? Jack.
That's important.
That's
Yep.
important.
Jokes
I
aside,
put
that's
a lot
very
of pressure on myself. I mean, I don't even want to talk about this.
Yeah.
But Das, you saw me before Flight 5.
Oh, yeah.
I was practically catatonic with stress. We put a lot of stress on ourselves because we want to deliver. Like, perfect example, on this flight, we were planning on having the drone again. The drone did not work out for reasons, and I was really upset about it, despite having an otherwise really great day. And I think in the in our back channel chat after the stream ended, I was a little bit short with some of my responses.
Right.
And Adrian, bless his freaking heart, big sweetie, actually DM'd me and was like, Jack, like, is everything okay? What's wrong? You sounded upset. And I was like, yeah, I'm just tired and cranky, but like, I'm really bummed that we didn't get the drone shot working. Like, as well as everything else went for me and for us.
Yep.
And I'm sure a lot of stuff didn't go well, which Kevin will tell us about. Like, that hurt. That really hurts because that's kind of a money shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about feelings, so I feel like we should probably have Kevin here. And Kevin, we streamed New Glenn and Starship Flight 7 in the same day. How did we do that?
How did we do that?
I don't know, to be honest. I really don't. I mean, we have a great production team. You guys are out in the field and you're physically working. We're sitting here and mentally working for about the same amount of time. And just like you said, we don't want to disappoint the audience, so we're constantly pushing to do better. Be better. And we've done that with all of these launches. There were 3 launches in like 24 hours.
Yeah.
How I don't know. We didn't sleep. We lived on naps. I tweeted about this earlier today.
Yeah.
I didn't even have time to take a behind the scenes picture. I usually take a picture of all my monitors. I didn't have time. I took my 30-minute nap and I went right back to work. And that's, again, we love our jobs.
Mhm.
This is the best job I have ever had. We get to play, we get to experiment. We have the best people working with us, and then we have an audience to cheer us on. And that's like, it's the best job. It's the best experience, and that's how we do it.
The number of times in the last, I don't know, several days where I've seen something beautiful and been like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh, the rocket is lit perfectly. Well, no time for that. Like, can't even stop to take photos. Like, there's just too much going on. What is this? Is this a big feelings post I didn't see somehow?
It is. I didn't see this either, Kevin.
I'm just gonna read it. Kevin, talk.
Read it in Kevin's voice.
Why don't you have Kevin read
Yeah, there you go.
I can't do Kevin's
Just be
voice.
me.
Why don't you have Kevin read the post from
Well, that's
Kevin?
weird though, because he's already
I want-
said it. We should make
I
him
want
say it
to read it.
again.
I
I'm
kind of
going
want
to
do
sit
this.
here on air and read it to myself because I want to read it. I
All right,
forget
Jack,
you.
go.
This
Have
is
at
what's
it.
happening.
All right.
Kevin can talk, but I'm not going to read it out loud. I want to read the thing. So Kevin and you guys can talk. I'm going to read it.
Okay, cool. I'm reading it
So
too,
we're
though.
just gonna have silence on stream.
90
No,
seconds for people
I
to
said
read
you can talk.
in your own time.
All right, I'll read it later. Whatever. You're
All
gonna
right.
give me shade. I'll
So
read it
anyway, I mean, like the short of this post, and this isn't a feelings post. I didn't have feelings today. I was too tired to have feelings. But people are always asking. We ran a behind the scenes stream.
Yep.
This time, and we did it last time as well. And it's a new experiment. We're always trying to provide more access to the audience to experience what we're experiencing. And the behind the scenes stream has some video of our operators who are operating cameras remotely. It has my voice. I'm sorry.
Oh, Kevin.
Throughout the stream, talking to all the operators, dealing with all the anomalies that we have.
Yep.
And it provides the multi views that I'm seeing. And a lot of times I see comments in that stream. Oh my God, it's so loud. Oh my God, there's so many different noises. I don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
That's what's in my head. I mean, literally playing into my ears throughout the streams. I'm listening to 8-pad cameras. I'm listening to the SpaceX stream. I'm listening to our hosts. And it's just a matter of focusing on what stream you need to focus on.
Yep.
It's a great mental task.
It really is. And You know, we do the members thing. Like what you see right now is the behind the scenes members multi-view. You could ride along with us live and hear some of the back channel chatter. And I get DMs. I get lots of DMs, honestly. I try to respond to most of them. But I got some DMs about like, oh, you lock your content behind paywalls, right? Why don't you share this behind the scenes with everybody, right? And we want to be creative, but we also put our best foot forward because we mess up a lot, right? There are things that we have to fix and things that don't always go perfect and all of these different things. And we still want to share that with people, but it's not, I think you could argue whether or not it's our best foot forward because getting through that stuff is a pretty darn good foot to put forward, right? But we don't just spew that out to the world because it's sort of unpolished and raw and real stuff that we're doing. And the things that we put out to the world, we try to polish a little bit more and make it a little bit more consumable for people who don't know who we are, right? But if you're watching this show, you probably know who we are.
Right.
So you would get a kick out of stuff like this
Right.
and hearing Kevin call cameras and us troubleshooting stuff in the back end, all the different stuff. Because you know us and you sort of put your faith in us because this is who you spend your watching time with, right? We can get away with not being perfect to you behind the scenes. So
How about
a
we
good way
do
to
like
put
a
it.
behind the scenes documentary or something for the
oh my
next flight?
gosh.
Oh!
how
I
about
had
This
an
is the
idea.
thing.
I had an idea. No, this is my idea. I actually.
It's because D
in
didn't
the-
come. That's why we didn't do it. Anyways.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, I jumped into VC and yelled at Carson and I think Jay because I had an idea and I didn't want to forget it. This idea is on launch day, I will set a GoPro and have it start at midnight on launch day
Nice.
in my room,
In your room.
and I
What?
will wake up and I
That's weird.
will get all my
Weird.
stuff together and we'll go set up remotes and the camera will come along and
Okay.
it'll be a 24-hour time span in Starbase. The camera will come along with me as if it's a person, and if people, we'll cut it down to like a 15-minute thing or whatever. But if people want to see a day, like what is launch day in Starbase like, just record
Yeah.
24 hours on a big ass SD card on a GoPro.
Yeah.
Cinema Verite, baby.
See, Jack, at first I thought you were going to put the GoPro in your room and just leave it there when you left. So it's a bunch of just like your bed and Leica just hanging out and it's like in time lapse, nothing happening. Like, why does that make sense? But strapping the GoPro to you, that's a huge thing for me. We come out here and we do so much work and I see little things. I'm like, that's a cool shot of the booster. Somewhere in here, I was picking up a camera and I have a photo of the booster in the back of the truck. I like just framed it and I was like,
great.
hey, I parked the truck like this and the booster's right there and I'm going to act like I'm carrying the booster in my truck. I'm going to take it home. Do I have room for it? I just took a second to do that, right? But so often we don't have time to do those things. It's like, carry one more thing. Oh, we'll grab this other thing. Oh, well, let's clamp this into the truck before we start driving. Oh, geez, we have to record. Like all the little things you have to do to actually capture that, it's a little overwhelming sometimes. So I don't do it, right? And I'm
It's
sitting
hard.
there doing all the stuff to prepare that doesn't get shared, and y'all sort of see us as we are. Come out the other end, right?
There was
That
a
is a
moment.
brilliant idea, Jack.
Another one of those moments where I was like, that's really cool. That was you were working on your McMaster car housing for the tracker in the bunkhouse, and Tyler was working on remotes, and Dan was wiring CP11. Like, it's like an all hands on deck moment, and stuff's just flying left and right. Leica is running around like a hurricane. I guess the hurricane's run now, and I don't know if you saw this because you were busy working. I pulled out my camera, I put on a wide angle lens, I stood here, I got a good exposure, and I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot some BTS because D's not here and I really love what they do and we should have some BTS for this launch. And then I looked at my watch and was like, I don't have time for that. And I, went on to the next task. I literally, I got the camera set. I was like, but I really should be doing X, Y, Z, and then put the camera down. I'm sorry. I don't mean to tease you guys with that. But fact of the matter is, that's part of the reason why we love so much when D does those BTS. Because they prioritize that.
NSF caught a booster.
They did. They got a booster. I'm going to take it down to river. We'll turn it into condos and we're good. It fits. I was surprised it fit in the truck. All right, that gag's over. I mean, even like the little story behind this, this was Danger Dune pickup, right? So this time, for the first time, media was allowed to legitimately place things in the dunes. I know a lot of people have placed things in the dunes in the past. illegitimately or illegally, but this time we actually had permission from SpaceX to put things in the dunes right there, and that was like sort of widely offered to media, right? This is the first time they've done that. And so we got the message that the road was opening, and we knew that we had cameras out there with SD cards that caught something, maybe, hopefully, right? And so even though we're all exhausted, we were at Hopper House, right, Jack?
Yep.
We got the note.
And I took
Yeah.
great joy and also sorrow in running around Hopper House
Yep.
with literally the entire Starbase community. Like,
Yep.
everybody was there.
Yep.
And I like the text came through, and I literally just ran around. I ran straight outside yelling, "Road's open! Road's open!" And
You
like 80 people all started to clear out, and I think the bartenders were like, "Whew," or maybe they hated me. I don't know.
Or they hated you, one or the other. So we're out sort of celebrating and relaxing after that. We didn't know if the road was going to open or not. Then suddenly the road is open, and we have access to go get these cameras from the SpaceX property in the dunes, right?
Right.
And we drop everything, and we come out to grab the stuff. And what is this one? This is like a shot up the thing. The problem is, Jack, I didn't actually know where to park the truck because y'all set that out originally, and I was riding along. And then to give Dan some rest, you were already out getting your own stuff. And to give Dan some rest, I was like, no, I got it. We don't need 10 people to go do this. Like, y'all chill out, and I'll drive the truck out. I didn't know where to park. And so I parked way too far up the beach. And I'm stumbling through the dunes for 30 minutes trying to find where our camera is.
That's how the dunes are, man. You can be like, you can see the thing you're walking to, but if you start at the wrong point, it's a bushwhacking hellhole.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because I have imprinted on the dunes out here where I'll be driving at night and it's foggy and there's sea spray and I can barely see it. I'm like, oh, that's the right alcove, and turn right into the right, little nook where there's a shelter from the water. And then you're like, okay, if I walk directly east into whatever it is, directly west into these dunes, I'll get to this spot. Like, you just learn over time. So sorry, I should have sent you a GPS pin.
I could have logged in. There was a CP there. I can log into my phone and get a GPS position from any of our equipment, right? Like, I could have done that, and I was so tired I didn't do it. I'm like, I think this is about where we parked before, and it was not correct. But anyways, I went in, I got the stuff. It was just two things. I put up some pictures in the back channel of the Danger Dune cam that we put out, and got it. Danger Dune cam weighs 50 pounds. I was not going to carry it like 200 yards up the beach back to the truck where I had inadvertently parked and went in. And so I literally put the 50-pound camera box just on the beach in the dark at midnight, and then just walked up to the truck. I'm like, I'm done with it. I'm going to go get it. I just could have disappeared.
Jay DeShelter, one of our team members, built this thing for Flight 1. And I strapped it to a railing next to Starhopper.
Yep.
And I actually bet SpaceX security. They're like, no way. They saw me putting multiple ratchet straps on it and bungees and things. And they're like, no way that stays. And I was like, I bet you a case of beer it stays. Well, it did stay strapped to the railing.
The railing didn't stay.
The railing didn't stay strapped to the concrete.
Whoops.
So I don't know who won that one.
What was it? Was it 300 yards? Was it like almost 900 feet? It got blown, and it was found like on the other side of the launch site. You know where the OLM is, and then the tower, and there's that little where the main entrance used to be, right there, right? And then all the way to the other side of the suborbital farm, this box got blown by Flight 1 all the way across the launch site. And SpaceX security found it, and we have to label our stuff to put logos and stuff like that on it, and eventually made its way back to Jay, and Jay resurrected it and rebuilt it, made it better.
He has the technology.
It has the technology, made it heavier, and it has like an air tag in it and all this sort of stuff, like extra up armor plating on it and stuff. The box literally weighs 50 pounds, but it was sitting on a shelf at River. And I went to River. I was like, okay, we want one more camera for the dunes.
That's another one of those last minute scramble kind of moments. There's always stretch goals, right? And you came up with this stretch goal of, we want to point a camera straight up from the dunes because the rocket's going to go straight over the dunes. So point a camera straight up. So you literally mentally and physically went to all of our spots where we have gear and inventoried and figured out, what do we possibly have? Because there's no Amazon Prime here. You want to get something here, it's a week. Like, and you go to Best Buy, and I guarantee you, they don't have half of what they have at a normal Best Buy in a civilized city.
Oh, yeah.
I said that.
It's messed up, man.
It is. So we got it. This thing was sitting on a shelf. It was ready to go. I get in touch with Jay. I'm like, hey, Jay, can we put this box out? Like, what do I need to do? Train me to do this. It's midnight or whatever, the night before launch, and he tells me what to do with it. We need to go and charge up the batteries, aim the cameras, do this, do that, yada, yada, get these cables, make sure it all works. Does it blink correctly when you turn it on? Okay, it all looks like it's working. Next morning, we go out and we set this in the dunes at, what was it, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. The morning before flight, right? The morning of the flight, we're out there doing this. And we find a spot and we put this in and we dig it in. We like aim it. I put the aiming shot in the back channel. I don't know if we can show the aiming shot. Is that Dan? Oh, that's Dan. We can show Dan on the side of the aiming shot. See that tube, the white tube on the right-hand side? You use the white tube to aim the cameras correctly. So I'm literally laying in the sand at 8 in the morning before the flight takes off, looking through this little PVC tube to aim this camera box at the OLM correctly. And Dan. There's Dan. Dan was out there helping too.
Helping.
Helping.
No, for real. Dan saved my butt multiple times on this trip, and Dan enabled one of the slow-mo shots by adding some hardware to CP11 last minute, which I've been dreaming of that mod for a long time. I'm very happy about it.
I'm going to make the producers mad. We haven't released this video yet, have we?
What video?
The result of this camera.
Oh, they haven't seen that yet? That's a shame. A shame.
I mean, it'd be a pity if we released it.
I know. Well, no, Kevin's here. Kevin, tell us how you feel.
Are you wanting to release it live right now?
Can we show a clip or a screenshot or
Das?
Are you saving it for a big video, Kevin, or what?
I mean, I am waiting for all of the NSF views from the Starship flight.
Thank you for not throwing me under the bus. Thank you for not throwing me under the bus there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, some people have not finished uploading yet, which we're going to release that tomorrow. Hopefully. So, I mean, let's show this footage. I mean, if Jay can get it.
A wise man once said, "We'll do it live."
Chat says do it.
We'll do it
Chat
live.
says
I mean, these are our most our viewers that are here the most, so they should see it.
There's no words on it.
Yeah, do we have our most frequent viewers here with us right now? I'm tapping. I'm looking.
I think so. Yeah.
I see him.
We have
Yeah,
Russell.
there's
There's
a regular,
Airvale.
not
There's
you.
Space Pope.
Space Popes.
there's
I'm literally
Chicken
looking
Leg.
at the names
There's
in
another
chat.
regular over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uncle
see one over there.
Gwen Evers there. Like I'm seeing the names in chat.
Yeah, I see him over there.
Nightbot's always
no,
around.
No, not you though. no. You can leave. Go away. Yeah, but there's my boy over there.
Echo Deal, Flawed Perspective, Methane Man, Eric Fraser, Austin Skirvin, Ellie Mary, Gamer IO. A lot of regulars. In chat today.
I'm watching Jay frantically download this video, so it's coming.
Okay.
Just have to still some time.
Yeah. Because also Jay DeShetler, not Jay that's doing this, but Jay DeShetler that built the box. We're going to get him to release it too. We're going to put it in videos. We're going to do all this stuff. It is some of the craziest. What?
Is it DeShetler or is it DeShelter?
Did I say it wrong? I always thought it was Shetler.
I'm worried I'm saying it wrong.
Anyways,
I think you're saying it wrong.
It's all good. He can't hear us saying it wrong, so we're cool.
Well, why don't we call him Jay the cameraman?
JD. We had to differentiate JD from Jay, who's producing the show right now.
Well,
too many J's.
Producer Jay, last name begins with a K, so he's JK now.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Hi, Jay. Jay's sitting there going, no, I'm not.
Yeah, it's Shet. SHET, Jack.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Is this the thing?
I'm a bad friend. I'm sorry.
And it does have the watermark in the bottom. It's got Jay's watermark at the bottom. That's important because people steal.
I need this shot live.
I mean, if we get this position again, we'll get you this shot live, Kevin.
Wait.
Point to point.
Hear me
The
out.
plume makes point to point difficult. But anyways, go.
Hear me out. Let's put the positioner here.
Oh my gosh, I like the positioner though.
Yeah, but everything lived. Remember before launch, you were like,
you thought,
the bag. Oh
That's
my.
awesome.
You thought you weren't going to see anything. You thought we weren't going to see anything, and then all of a sudden,
Dude. That footage is awesome.
this is all Jay's camera design, by the way. This is all Jay.
A well-exposed telephoto photograph of those engines looking straight up
Would be insanity.
like a holy grail level shot, and something I'm definitely going to try. Remember
So
before
look at
launch when you were like, "Oh, I'm worried about the plastic bag." around
Wait,
the
Jack,
battery.
wait. Time lapse. We speed forward a little bit
Watch
because
this,
the booster
chat.
came back. Watch, y'all.
No way!
Oh my god!
This is the stretch goal last minute camera. Jay's equipment sitting on a shelf. I'm like, Jay, can I put this out? Teach me how to use this thing. And that is what it catches from the danger dunes.
Do it
Dude,
again. Do it again.
good.
Make it do it again. Make
Did
it
you
do it
see
again.
the
I wanna see it
donut
again.
ring as it's coming down?
So nuts, man. Oh my goodness.
Most of the NSF folks haven't seen this yet either.
Yep.
Most
is
of
my
the
first
NSF
time.
folks
The
haven't
back
seen
channel. The back channel is currently breaking.
it. Yes.
It's that footage is pretty good.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Let's watch this closely. Alex said that you could see the sticks wiggle too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alex and
the
Adrian
tower.
are like, do it again, do it again, do it again.
It is pretty awesome. Oh, gee, that's cool. Wow again. Yeah, look. This is the first clip I downloaded off the camera. And this
I was
a
here
treat.
when you were doing that, and
Yes.
you made some noises.
In step one, it was like, yes, it recorded something. And step two was like, yes, look at this. Look what it can see. This is the first thing I saw. Looking up the tailpipe of the booster taking off. By the way, I went and I picked up this camera, and you don't go and retrieve an experimental camera like this that you haven't got to see it. Okay, wait, here, look. You don't sit on that SD card. You don't get the SD card back to the house and then go to sleep and I'll do it in the morning. No, you stay up.
Yep. Dude.
That is insane.
Dude.
That is insane. From other perspectives, it just looks like a ball. But from this perspective, and this perspective alone, you can actually see that no, it's not a ball. It's
Oh,
a
my goodness.
weird toroid, like donut kind of thing. Like, whoa, what?
That is
Wow.
nuts.
Yeah, Alex is right. You can see that. You can see that right. The screen left, chopstick right, chopstick moving around.
Yeah.
After it catches it, when it loads it up, it starts moving.
I
Good
have
job, Dus.
I have another experimental camera there that I put out that I have not got the footage off of because I got this footage and I was so blown away with this. I didn't plug. I have to plug the other one into a network and log into it. It's not like you just take an SD card out, right? And so I still have one more wacky camera that I put into the dunes that we will see. Nobody's seen this footage yet. But that footage will be included in quite a few places, right?
Exciting. I'm sorry if you see me like swatting the birds away still. There's a fly now. There's actually a fly in the room. I'm having my Breaking Bad fly episode, and it just so happens there's also birds on the screen behind me. So just ignore me.
Hey, let me get this relevant super chat real quick. Armchair Aerospace says, you guys are actually legends. As somebody who works on a production team, respect for your coverage this insane week. You guys are way too humble. Armchair Aerospace, thank you so much. I didn't want to miss that. I didn't want to, 30 minutes later, we come back and read it. I saw it. I paused my phone real quick.
Means a lot.
Thank you so much for that.
We're armchair producers.
It really does. I mean, we like to have fun here. You know, we like to goof around, especially on the Flame Trench. But we take what we do so seriously.
So challenge for you, Jack. We have footage of exactly how that booster catch works. We've got audio in those clips as well, so you can time out audio arriving at the camera site. We know the general trajectory and where the camera was aimed and stuff like that. Wascally Wabbit in a super chat says the flame donut needs to be a print.
Agreed.
Is that a doable thing with a real camera in the future?
It's doable. You know why it's doable? Because they're going to launch Starship a whole lot. In fact, I was talking to Tyler about this very thing just yesterday. Tyler came out and seriously, so make sure you check out his socials, and also I think he's got some prints on the shop too. But as Starship launches more and more,
Yep.
it will be possible to try more of those like Holy Grail, Hail Mary, like impossible shots. Like I've talked about this shot before on stream. I want to set up a camera on South Padre Island with some glass in the foreground so that in the right position so that the sound hits the camera with the rocket in frame so you can see the glass doing kind of one of the, like the glass in one of the hotels.
My I had some family here at the hotel room watching from the Margaritaville, and they sent me a cell phone video of the hotel windows looking like jelly. Jack,
that's a Holy Grail shot. That is a Holy Grail shot.
Thing.
And
that,
so yes,
you should do that because they wiggle like jelly.
Yeah. Yes, that donut hole shot is possible. It's also extremely challenging, and a certain amount of luck is involved. Not only in direction of the camera and settings and yada yada, and focus, not to mention, but also the conditions yesterday won't be the conditions every day. We might not get that donut every time.
You may film 10 Starship launches and it only gets that donut when the conditions are just right. Temperature, humidity, yada yada yada.
Right. But you better believe I and others are going to be trying to catch that. I really hope that this first time SpaceX let us set in the dunes legitimately isn't the last. I hope this is a new spot every launch because it's a fantastic spot. And you know what? The media should definitely be able to put cameras there if random people are just going to litter the cameras there.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Y'all know we've had a camera that we worked with SpaceX. We had like a Starlink powered camera at another location, but it wasn't something that was available to all media, right? So all those cameras that were like sprinkled around the dunes were not legitimate cameras before, and we did have a sort of agreement with SpaceX where we could put this one Starlink powered camera in, right? And we've been working on that system. And this flight was the first time where that and all of the other areas in the dunes with like you were actually allowed to put stuff there as opposed to just breaking the rules and throwing cameras wherever the heck you want. We do take it seriously. Like we try to follow the rules. Not everybody does.
Yep. Hey, look, it's ship 34. It's fully frosty. It looks like they're doing a cryo test.
Wow. All right. This place does not stop.
That was literally yet another thing. I was leaving the launch site, my opportunity to shoot and lift if they lifted during the show to come be on the show, and as I was passing Massey's, I saw that the road to Massey's was closed, and I saw that the ship was frosty, and I was like, oh, no time for that.
Okay.
Like EJ, you're right. This place does not stop.
Doesn't stop.
It's a marathon here. It's not a race. It's a marathon. And I think a lot of people come out here and they're like, "Oh wow, this is so great. You get to have so much fun." And it is. And we do. But it's also a marathon.
And we're tired.
And we're tired.
Running a marathon is challenging, but rewarding, but challenging.
Yeah.
Where'd Kevin go? Were we talking too much for Kevin?
I don't know. Remember the other rocket that launched actually before this rocket launched?
Wait, what?
Were we supposed to talk about that?
I did. I talked about Starlink 12.4. I already said that.
Oh my god.
We led the show with it.
We almost need to do? We almost need to have like a footage review show.
Yes.
After big launches like that, we should get the folks that got the footage on, and then we should talk about the folks that had experienced it and the footage and stuff like that.
It's the same thing we were talking about in the in our YouTube back channel earlier today. I was going to say the other day, but it's the same day somehow.
Dude, haven't you known this day has lasted like 72 hours?
It's true. That's actually really true.
Yeah.
I've woken up at 7 a.m. and not slept like 2 of the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And then the third. Anyways, there's a video out there. If you're a space nerd, you've never seen this video. It's called Shuttle Best of the Best.
Oh.
And it is a hour-long compilation of the very best shuttle videography and cinematography over the course of the program. And the 2 dudes who ran the video team or whatever, I forget what their titles are and what their names are. I'm a terrible person. I actually really feel bad about that.
Matt Malice is one of the guys' name.
Thank you. They both go through the footage shot by shot, and there's no extra bull crap. It's just, this is camera E5 is a 16 millimeter with a 400 millimeter lens running, and it's like it's an hour and a half of that, and the
Nice.
shots are insane. And that video is one of the things that led me to want 2-point cameras at rockets. I mean, I've always been a space nerd, but
Nice.
there's a very specific set of events made me want to point cameras at rockets. So that video rules. We should do that with our footage for, like, you know how you've been commentating the dailies, Das? We should do that. We were talking about that. I think we should do that for this flight and for future flights. I think it's a good idea. I think you had a good idea.
I've been saying since I don't have camera right now because I'm assisting Jay with
Boo.
some Starbase footage right now. But I've been saying since I started with NSF, we need the art of spaceflight show. You know, it might
Yeah.
be once a month or something like that, where we just talk through all the footage that was captured on the various launches. I mean, at this point, what
Yeah.
are we doing? Like 15, 20 launches a month?
Yep.
There's so much amazing footage that no one ever sees.
And there's
know,
moments. Yeah,
sometimes-
there's moments and stories that people just don't know or hear about.
So where I was going with that, Jack, is I would almost feel like we weren't doing the Blue Glen,
It's not just me. Let's go.
the coverage service without Max and D and the folks that were at the Cape for that launch.
Yeah,
So-
we split the team up.
Yeah, everybody watching this show right now is aware that Blue Glen launched. What are Blue Origin launched?
Oh my
New
God, is
Glen.
that
The
cheesecake?
cheesecake has arrived, apparently.
Oh my God, there's actually cheesecake. It actually happened. But you didn't call.
We need cheesecake, Cam. How did you know when I was faking it? I didn't actually call, Jack.
Because you said your wife wanted to order the cake. I bet she did.
What am I waving at? Oh, do I have... Oh, there's a card?
Wait, what?
Wait, hang on.
What does it say?
Hold up.
What does it say?
No, we don't know the answer to this, so we probably shouldn't read it on air.
What does it say?
What the hell?
I can't. I'm looking at his face. I can't. You need to tell me what it says. Look at his face.
I don't know that we should say anything, so...
Okay. I'll live with not knowing.
Who
It's
is-
like the movie
do we know
Seven.
this
You
person?
don't know what's in the box.
Just like, what's in the box?
Yeah.
Do we know this person?
Let's... I don't know... I don't want to dox anything, and there's no clear instructions in there about revealing anything about what that card says on the show. So the person who sent us cheesecake, you know who you are. You can out yourself in chat if you'd like, but lacking clear instructions, I'm not going to use any names or anything like that out loud.
Can you post like what it is in the back? I want to be excited too.
It
I don't
is
even
a
get
very
cheesecake.
nice note. It is a very nice note.
And it very specifically says, do not give Jack a piece of cheesecake.
No, it does not. I don't
I'm
believe
so-
that until
dude,
you
We'll
send
have
me a
did you
picture.
see the
of the note.
reaction?
We'll have to
Send me a-
redact it.
Send me a picture
No.
of the note. I don't believe you.
No. Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, you could put it in the back channel. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, somebody has done something very nice for us. Everybody at the hotel knows who we are. We talk to people at the hotel all the time. If you were to call the hotel and be like, "Hey, I know the guys from NSF are there. I don't need to know what room number they are or anything like that. But would you just please take care of them?" Like, I know that the hotel would make that happen because they all know who we are, right? We've done quite a few shows from here. I'm actually not reading the chat right now, but the person who has done this, I'm not going to release the name, but thank you so much. You can take credit for it in the chat, and that's when everybody takes credit for it. Oh, it was me, and then we have to ask, how did you know they used a knife? We didn't release those details on the news.
We gave you the wrong room number.
It went to 154.
Oh, no.
And somebody at 154 was like,
This is why I said don't do this.
we're going to walk by 154 after the show, and there's going to be like 80 cheesecakes outside of it or something. But no, thank you so much. We actually have cheesecake that has arrived in the room.
That's really funny, actually.
We have a lot of cheesecake in the room, actually.
I just read the note. That's really sweet.
I'm not supposed to eat it on stream, but you know something?
do it.
When
Eat
we're
it.
rolling the outro, I'll eat it.
Here's what we'll do. You two have worked your freaking tails off. Das, you went to Florida and dropped off gear for Blue Origin, and then you came here.
I did.
And so you're stuffing your face with celebratory cheesecake. Right now, mister, I'm going to read support.
Read support. I'm going to eat support.
Well,
Yeah, do it.
we're
Do
gonna
it.
mute Jack. Take it away.
Yeah, do your thing.
Go. I want like give me hand gestures. Like we need this is video. You know, we're gonna need to see your faces as you eat. So, Kevin, yeah, like give thumbs up if it's good. You know, like pantomime. Pretend it's a silent film. Itamar, thank you for the support. They say a bit more for the cheesecake fun. Thanks for the awesome coverage. You guys are the best. James grabbing the Flight 7 patch. Are those not sold out yet? Wow. How did they not sell out? They can't answer because they're eating cheesecake. I can say anything. What is it take that they really disagree with? Because they're actually muted right now and eating cheesecake. I can't. I'm too tired to think of how to troll them. James, thank you for grabbing the Super Heavy Swim Club mug. They say, question for the tech nerds. Did anyone get a radar track of the debris? Yeah, I did see that floating around on X and whatnot. People were saying it showed up on radar. Scott, Herod, thank you for the support. They say an extra slice of lemon cheesecake and a coffee fund. I love this so much. Cars are stupid. Train good, car bad. We should never test equipment. What else can I say that'll really rankle them? We should never have checklists. That's one. We should never use checklists. Don't ever check Notion.
So they are muted, but I am not.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Jack. I think we should test all equipment.
I agree. He says twice. Don says twice. I just wanted to...
Just because it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what he always says. I just wanted to trigger him. Echo Deal, thank you for the support. They say starships only do this when they're very distressed. Gamer IO, thank you for the support. They say, why did I come here to cheesecake? Drizbane, thank you for the support. They say, okay, we need to organize cheesecake orders for all the rooms. Flawed Perspective says it's called cheesecake swatting. That's actually terrifying. Methane Man, wow, my brain really just immediately wanders with that statement. Methane Man, they say cheesecake trench. It's the cheesecake trench. It's the cheesecake trench. Moon, thank you for becoming a Pad Rat member. Eric Frazier, oh my God, what are we doing here? What are we doing with our lives? Eric Frazier, thank you for the super chat. They say, y'all deserve some cheesecake, but also please get some sleep. Austin Skirvin, thank you for the $5 tip. They say Flight 7 was interesting. They caught the booster. Not a great start for Block 2 of ship. Cheesecakes for Room 101. I wish we could have had Captain Yak wearing a kilt and a kayak watching Blue Glen. That would have been nice if I could have seen it, but you know what? There'll be more. Ellie Mary, or Ella Marie. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry. Cheesecake Fun. Thank you for the support. Gamer IO again. Thank you. They say, anyone notice the metal flap around on the side of the ship? Wonder if the metal flapping made had anything to do with the explosion. We have seen that. We will wait till the investigation comes out and we find out more. My God, that's a lot of cheesecake. I'm seeing pictures in the back channel of a lot of cheesecake at the hotel room. What happened? How did they figure it out? Lee OCD, thank you for the $5 super chat. They say, hey guys, I just saw a post on Reddit where the heat tiles are washing up on the beach in Turks and Caicos. I believe it. A lot of tiles are going to be floating around out there, both in the water and like for sale. Is the booster in the air? I give up.
Well, time for my golf commentary on the booster lift.
Quick.
Jack has disappeared.
I don't
Kevin Michael Reed hosts.
I don't
By the
actually
way,
give
EJ,
up. I
I'm
don't
one and
actually
you're
give
two.
up. I'm kidding.
There you go.
yeah.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Wait, so is it in the air?
I don't know. Going back to eating. I'm on round 2.
It may have lifted.
No,
Jack,
I don't
just
know.
a little bit, but it's not in the air.
You have to
Okay.
A/B test it. I think it's just
Okay.
dark.
Okay, I don't give up. Keep eating your cake. I'm gonna keep thanking people because we're in the red. Like our software that shows us the super chats. If you don't thank the person soon enough, the whole entire thing turns bright red, like fire engine red. And so the panel is right now yelling at me. I'm sorry, panel. For some reason, I hear it yelling at me in Michael Baylor's voice. Eric the Fretheim thank you for the support. They say, you guys are the only reason I can see these launches, and a big thank you on behalf of all my fellow shut-ins who can't travel. This is bringing me back to my youth in the 60s. You're quite welcome. It's honestly the most fun thing. Like we were talking about earlier on stream, a good 50% of the fun, at least, is bringing the stuff to people around the world and getting to share it with you. So that means a lot. Thank you. Jason, thank you for the $10 tip to tips.nasaspaceflight.com. They say, thank you for the coverage this week. I pulled a 20-hour day to watch both Blue and SpaceX with you. Now I'm going to fix my sleep pattern now. I like how they said now twice, illustrating that they're probably very sleepy.
And probably doing it now.
They're probably doing it now. Probably now. Now. Maybe. Probably. Mighty Don Don, thank you for the generous super there. They say, DOS, you're great. Keep up the great work. I agree. More DOS, more better. What do we have to do to get DOS doing this all the time and not business stuff? Actually, please, no. Please keep doing the business
Saying
stuff.
cheesecake.
Cheesecake? All right. What do you, Jay?
The answer is cheesecake.
Okay, cool. Then we're good. We're set. John James, thank you for the support. They say, what you do lets those of us who can't be there feel the experience. I hope so. I really hope so. And ultimately, we could come up with a 360 VR with a smell-o-vision and a chair that articulates with hydraulics and a screen that's 80 million K. And it still wouldn't even come close to conveying what it's like in person. All we can do is make it as
Jack,
clear as possible.
We'd have to make a device that punches you in the chest. Like shaky chair, all 80K, whatever. If you're watching a rocket launch, you'd need a device that punches you in the chest when the sound hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Rob L, thank you for the support. It's a $100 tip to tips.nasaspaceflight. Huge amount of support on this stream. You guys are the best. They say, wanted to thank you all for an amazing experience this week. Been a great adventure following this all with you. Thank you so much. That's so much money. And so many people come out with support, whether it's $1, whether it's a fraction of $1 because it's some other currency or something, whatever it is, the support is so appreciated. But $100 is so much money. And hopefully you know how seriously we take that amount of trust and that amount of support. Like the fact that you put your trust in us. You want to get your space news, and this is from us. We really appreciate you for it. And like, Jesus, that's so much money. How do you even adequately thank someone for that? Brian?
Just say thank you.
Wait
a minute.
That's not adequate.
Jack, real quick. Alex just posted on X that he does not like cheesecake.
Yeah, Adrian doesn't like potatoes. A lot of us have really...
Oh, God, he's here.
That was just in case, okay? Like, maybe if somebody were to gift me some cheesecake out of the blue, I want them to know that I don't like the cheesecake, okay?
I'm about to go on X and say that I really like cheesecake.
I like gold bars. I like Canon 600mm f4L3s.
We do have to get Kevin down here for a lunch, by the way.
Yep.
We need to.
How does that happen?
You are very well. See, what you do is we have the system by which we can exchange currency for goods or services, right? And you can exchange the currency that you have or that we have for a travel certificate, which allows you to board a shiny metal tubes.
A Starship.
No, we want you to arrive here.
You don't want
shiny
that.
Tube.
Wait, what did you just say?
Too soon. It's point to multi-point right now is the thing. It like starts at one point and it ends up at lots of points.
That's so messed up. That's so screwed up.
Sorry. We love Starship. We do love Starship.
We do. We really do.
The cheesecake was fantastic. No, but for real, we do need to get Kevin down here. I don't know if we need to, what we need to do to make that happen, but we need Kevin to come down and see a launch and hang out with us.
I need to come down.
Yes.
You know who else needs to come down?
Oh, who?
The Burgonator.
A lot of people, honestly, but Chris Burgonator needs to come. Is he here? Can we subliminally say this?
Space shuttle, horses, Yorkshire tea.
What?
That'll summon him.
We have 2 of those 3 things here.
So we have This Week in Spaceflight coming out.
Yes, we do.
4 minutes.
14. I pushed it to 8 o'clock.
Oh, 14. Okay.
Hey, we have 14 minutes. Oh, well then. Pressure's off. What do you guys want to derail about now?
Well, do we cover all the topics? I mean, we didn't talk much
No.
about Blue Glen. I'm not going to
Blue
stop it
Glen.
now. New Origin.
You could call it bong.
Bong.
There's so much I want to talk about. I feel like, as exhausted as I am, we could do this another 3 hours, and
We should.
would still have things to talk
we
about.
need Max and D on
We
a
do.
Blue Glen.
Yep.
Oh my god, I can't say it at all
Well,
now.
you're done.
Well,
555.
give up.
You're done.
Show's over. No, we need them to properly go through what the heck happened. Look at the footage. What happened at
cooked.
the cake?
Both men at the cake? Did you just say what happened at the cake? Chad, it's gone to his head. He's eaten so much cheesecake. Most human beings are 75% water. Currently, Das is 75% cheesecake. It is taken over his body. He is cheesecake. He is a sentient cheesecake at this point.
It's a busy launch week at Canaveral. Canaveral.
I'm going to look really quick at next spaceflight, but I'm wondering, by the way, nextspaceflight.com, I'm wondering if there is a launch next Friday, because maybe we can ask Mac. Oh, there actually is at 5:45
Yes.
from Cape Canaveral.
You should do the show, and then when the rocket launches, they should just turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, rocket launched," and then just keep going with the show.
Cool.
Like set up there at the press site. Was it 39 or 40?
It's 40.
Ah, that's not as great.
But I think we should invite Max and D on next week's show.
Yeah.
And then we should talk about Blue Glen.
Do
should.
the proper footage review and talk about all the amazing images they captured and the slow-mo and the blue glow. And there's probably something that rhymes with that, but I'm not going to go for that right now. We should do that. We should do it that way.
And
We
Das,
should.
we could talk about one thing. We did test out new tech on this launch, didn't we?
We did. Well, which one are we talking about?
On the Blue Glen, I mean both actually, but the Blue Glen, the New Glen launch.
New Glen Blue Origin, guys.
Yeah, the Blue Glen.
The new Ghost?
New
That was before both of these.
Yep. We did, because that's, y'all mentioned earlier, in order to get to Starbase, I came to Starbase by way of Titusville, honestly. And I packed up a bunch of stuff in a rental car that we couldn't ship. It was too big to really ship effectively, plus too expensive.
What, the rental car?
The rental car?
Ship the rental car?
No.
Oh.
Well, we could have, but anyways. And took it to the Cape and gave it to Max and D, and they used some of this on the new flight. This is now what I'd guess I'd call the portable tracker behind me. And at the Cape, we have a ridiculously huge tracker. I think D strapped like 3 or 4 cameras to it.
Yeah, that thing's a tank.
This has one real camera and then one spotting camera on it. But D strapped 3 real cameras to this massive robotic tracking head that we've been putting together. And I think that was the second time. I think D used it for Blue Ghost.
Starlink.
Was it a Starlink or was it Blue Ghost? Anyways,
Maybe Blue Ghost as well.
this
So
is
it was
why
the third time.
this is why D should be here to explain this. But anyways,
Yes.
new toys at the Cape. We should do an entire thing on that.
Yeah, and I guess part of the reason why I wanted to mention that is because you do have one of your new toys behind you. Maybe you can tell us a little more about it.
I mean, I can.
Wow,
What
nice
we really
segue.
should do, Kevin. I did a little bit of an explanation on this on the main stream, and it might be really cool to like clip that out and put it out there for members or somewhere, or like put it out there where people can see it. But this is something we've been working on for quite some time. This is we track rockets, right, Jack? And the trick is when you're tracking a rocket, you're so excited and you're so nervous. Your sweaty meat popsicle has to touch the tripod and move the camera to track the launch, and you shake. It's really difficult to track a launch really cleanly by hand. So we've been working on these robotic trackers where you're not touching the camera. You're actually using a joystick or controller or something like a computer program, whatever. And this is probably the 4th one I put together, and it's the first one I'm happy with, where we have a big main camera, right, with the lens on it, and then the spotting camera up here. And I've built this little pelicanized monitor system, and it's got 2 screens in it. And I see one camera, like the wide shot on one and the other shot on the other. I CNC'd a little part here. I know it's tough to see, but this is why we should have the other video. CNC'd a way to get them exactly aligned, like exactly together. You point the big camera at like the tip of Starship, right? The nose of Starship. And then you use these little screw systems to exactly align the smaller spotting camera with the tip of Starship. And then in my monitors, I have these reticles. It looks like I'm going to shoot them down, right? It wasn't me. But I have the monitors, and I can know that if in the wide camera, I can see the Starship right in the middle. Then the telephoto camera will also have the Starship right in the middle. And that was some of the footage y'all saw from me. But my thing is I want to get more of these and get them into more people's hands, like the kit we delivered to the Cape, which is way bigger than this one.
You mean the cake?
Yeah.
The Cape.
I'm so excited for this. This is like an evolution
Yeah.
of our capability that we've been, the egg. We've been on the egg screen in Pokemon, and it's like your Pokemon is evolving, and it's like, can we evolve the Pokemon, please? And so now we are, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
EJ, sorry, I cut you off.
Pokemon references. No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good deal.
So we're working on stuff like this. I always tell myself I need to record a behind the scenes and explain exactly how it all works and that sort of stuff. I worked on so many different versions that I was never happy with. I never really wanted to share it because they weren't like good enough, right? They weren't up to snuff. I didn't want to show them off because I wasn't proud of them. And this is like the iteration where I'm like, hey, this is actually really cool. I can pack this in my backpack in a Pelican case, open it up, get ready to go, track a launch, close it down, and go, right? Like this one I'm happy with. And the one at the Cape is even more ridiculous, but we'll have to do more on that. We need to get them in more people's hands to track cool launches.
I agree. We do need to do that. We do need to get D and Max on to properly go through it. They did such an amazing job with New Glenn, and it's so hard with a brand new rocket with a first launch. You have no idea what to expect. It's nighttime. There's no light. Both of them absolutely killed it, and we do need to do that. I'm so excited to see what they're able to pull off with that tracker. And Das, thank you for getting that tracker to Florida in time for New Glenn, and then getting here. Like the fact that thing was there was really. Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Being assaulted by.
We are live.
Like 90% it's Dan, 10% it's Leica.
You can't.
What is Dan doing? Get Dan in the shot.
You can't.
What's up, Dan?
What's up, Dan?
Everyone.
Dan can't hear us. No, we just want to see Dan.
No, they all love Dan.
No,
guys, look.
Put the headset on Dan.
Yeah, no, it's Jack's dad. He's there with him.
Oh my God.
Right. Hello, Jack's dad.
We have a premiere happening at a specific time too. What's up, Dan?
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Dan?
How's it going?
Oh, I'm tired.
He's my dad.
See,
Go
I
to your
told
room.
you.
Did you say go to your room?
Yes, I did.
How you doing, Dan?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. Should be home today, but I'm still here.
Yeah. 5 o'clock flights are not fun. We getting ready tomorrow at 5?
I'll be up at 3 catching an Uber to Harlingen so I can get home.
So you're going to get rid of yourself.
I'm not going to drive him at 3.
Would you drive
You're
me
not
at
a friend.
4?
Oh my gosh.
No, never
Because I
mind.
am not a friend.
Oh, okay.
He's not being very excellent again.
Never mind.
You're not leaving tomorrow, are you?
No.
No, okay. Yeah. So Dan is critical to the success of what we do. He's going to like turn red and you'll see it, or he's going to get attacked by birds. He's critical to what we do. Yes, good job. Because he handles all of our solar and electrical wiring. I don't know what you want to say about it, Dan, but from everybody, like massive thanks to everything you do to make sure that we still have power when we want to turn on 5,000 cameras. Kevin.
I want to turn on 5,000 cameras, yes.
That's it?
I have Kevin in the background yelling at me all the time saying, get this working, get that working. I need it for the stream or this or that.
I don't yell.
Okay. He types loud.
He types loud.
That is true.
Good.
But yeah, working for NSF is a labor of love. It's a hard work, but it's very rewarding. It's a great group of people. Even Jack at times. And,
it's a great group of people, and Jack.
And Jack.
And Jack.
But I'm just honored to be a part of this team.
Oh, shucks.
Oh,
It looks like you have
Hey.
flowing hair behind you with the booster.
don't even
Alright.
go there.
That's enough feelings. That's enough feelings.
Enough feelings.
No more feelings.
You're the
Oh,
man.
We don't
man.
have feelings here.
Wait, no. I have to read this. From my wife. My wife texts me,
My wife.
thank Dan for me. He allows me to get to see you every once in a while.
You're very welcome, Jessica.
It's like send Dan down to handle it so you don't have to go. And I'm like, thank you very much, Dan, for handling stuff and making sure we can trust we'll have power.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
Dan is an electrical engineering wizard. He's a wizard.
Is.
He's a wizard.
See, Adrian? We can be nice to Jessica. It's possible.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We should be nice. I told you you should be nice to her. You're always so mean to her.
Who's mean? Who's mean?
Sounds like Adrian. That's what I'm implying from this conversation.
You're mean to his wife?
He's flipping out in the back channel.
We're gonna have words.
That's what it sounds like, EJ.
By the way, hi, Jessica.
Aw.
Adrian didn't say hi.
Previously,
What a
like
jerk.
when Flight 1 slipped so much, it got to the point where we needed to import Jessica to Starbase because I had not been home. And of course, we imported her, and then I think it launched the next day. Like, it was good luck charm. So, anyways, how are we doing with the release of the video that's coming out? There's like space news happening, right?
We have 2 minutes until we need to play the outro.
Okay, cool.
So what, do I start yelling names right now?
Yeah, like at the end of Whose Line? You have to do it in a style?
Oh, man. What should I do it in the style of?
I don't know.
You have no time to figure that out.
A booster that's
You have
about
a
to be
minute
caught.
and 19 seconds.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. 19 seconds. Brian J. 99. Thank you. Natalie Vincent. Space Pope. How many seconds? It's probably less than 90.
Raptor 3 is offline.
Thank you. Space Pope. Armchair Aerospace. Wascally Wabbit. Thank you. Dougal. Thank you. Gamer IO. Thank you. Telstar 86. Thank you. Jeff Bureau. That's a weird last name. It's a cool last name. You're cool for becoming a Red Team member. Kenneth Langford. Ian. Born Too Soon. Oh, God. It's probably less than a minute now. PN What? $20. Thank you. It's very generous. You're all the best. Falcon 999RC becoming a Capcom member. You have Discord access to Capcom level and above. The member program is awesome. The Capcom level and above, you get Discord access. The Discord's awesome. There's a food chat channel. Scott Herod, Chris and Kevin Travel Fund. Thank you for the support. Kevin should travel. Chris should travel. GM3. How many seconds? Sorrel Aragonis.
30 seconds.
30 seconds
Oh,
remaining.
Jesus. Oh, God.
30 seconds.
Guys, have you ever slept at all? No, we haven't. Ian, thank you for the 199 super chat. I don't.
You're good, Jack.
Mike is worried.
You're good, Jack.
Leica is worried about me. She's climbed up onto my lap.
Look at her.
Because I
She's
have
like,
frightened her with my
What's happening?
frantic raving. Seriously,
Good
I
deal.
don't mean to make light of everybody's support. It was a huge amount of support, and it means the world to us because we can keep bringing rocket news and rocket footage to people around the world.
You're
So
on
you
a
guys are
roll
the
there.
best.
You got
You guys
it.
are the best.
Good deal.
The
Thanks,
entire
guys.
team that made this happen is huge.
Yep.
And to be a part of this team, like Dan said, is an honor. So,
By the
thank you, the
way,
entire team.
massive thanks to somebody who hasn't hopped in front of the camera. Gene over here set up a bunch of gear for us as we were driving away from the failed lift earlier. There's Gene. We have to go to the show, but Gene, thank you so much for hanging out.
I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Okay,
I
cool.
work behind the scenes. Bye.
It's the end of the show.
Let's do it. Thank you
Oh my
again
gosh, mute
to
the
our
mic.
launch directors and flight engineers. EJ, thank you. Gene, again, thank you. And Das, I mean, I guess thank you. No, seriously, dude. You are the glue that keeps us all together. And, if it wasn't for you, this house would be looking real shabby with a bunch of wallpaper sliding off the walls because there's no glue. I don't know.
What?
It doesn't make sense.
It's just because you swept because you didn't want me to see how dirty it was. That's why the house is clean, Jack.
No comment.
Hey, Jason in the back over here, too, helping us out. I assume there's going to be a cue when the video's going to roll, right?
I hope so.
Where's my cheesecake?
It's like so often. It's
Where's
over there
my
somewhere.
cheesecake? Do I get cheesecake?
I don't know. I'm going to have to double check the instructions in the note to see if you're allowed to have cheesecake, Jack.
Okay. Can we get Jason on cam?
Hey,
There it
Jason's
is.
on cam, too. Hey!
The man, the myth, the legend.
Nice. Nice.
Tracking cam.
Okay,
Seriously,
well,
thanks for
we're
everything.
definitely 90 seconds over.
Okay, so it's time to go to the other thing?
Yeah, go. Let's. I'm gonna say it. Play the outro.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantic.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Flighting outside FTD off. Bring in FTD off. It's orange!
145! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Décollage.
Look at this!
Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
Methane will be igniting